Ang Public Employment Service Office o PESO ay isang libreng employment service facility alinsunod sa Republic Act No. 8759 o PESO Act of 1999. Ang batas na ito ay naglalayong magbigay ng oportunidad para sa lahat ng mamamayan ukol sa mga gawaing empleyo sa pamamagitan ng pagtatatag ng PESO sa lahat ng mga bayan at lungsod sa buong bansa. Sa kasalukuyan, ang PESO ay nakatalaga sa local government units, kolehiyo at universidad na siyang tuwirang kaugnay ng Department of Labor and Employment o DOLE sa pagpapatupad ng mga programa gaya ng mga sumusunod: Job Referral and Placement. Ito ay kinapapalooban ng Daily Job Referral, Job and Livelihood Fair, Local and Special Recruitment Activities at Special Program for Employment of Students ay may proseso ng pagsasagawa ng pre-screening at interview, job matching, at pagkakaloob ng job referral sa mga aplikante nito. Para naman sa self-employment, mayroong community-based skills training program na nagsasagawa ng iba't ibang pagsasanay sa mga barangay o samahan sa buong lalawigan. Dagdag pa rito ang ipinatayong Provincial Livelihood Training Center ng pamahalaang panlalawigan na kasalukuyang nagkakaloob ng in-house skills training sa bread and pastry production, food processing, hilot wellness massage, events management at iba pang pagsasanay. Sa pakikipag-ugnayan sa Technical Education and Skills Development Authority o TESDA, ang mga nabanggit na programa ay nagbibigay karagdagang kaalaman at kasanayan sa ating mga kalalawigan para sa mas malawak na oportunidad sa empleyo, sa loob o sa labas man ng bansa. Gayon din upang imulat ang ating mga kalalawigan sa gawaing pangkabuhayan at pagsisimula ng sarili nilang negosyo. Kaugnay nito ang pagkakaloob ng livelihood projects gaya ng Nego Cart, Starter Kits, retailing of groceries, pandisalang bayan at iba pang proyektong ukol sa kabuhayan. Employment guidance and counseling. Ito ay binubuo ng mga programang tumatalakay sa mga napapanahong pamamaraan mula sa pagpili ng kurso at career, paggawa ng resume, pagharap sa interview at legal na paghahanap ng trabaho sa loob at labas ng bansa upang maging gabay at batayan ng mga aplikante sa pagpasok sa sektor ng empleyo. Ito ay ang Career Guidance Seminar, Pre-Employment Orientation Seminar o PEOs, Anti-Illegal Recruitment, Trafficking in Persons Campaign Seminar, at Labor Education for Graduating Students o LEGS. Upang lalo pang maibaba sa buong lalawigan ang mga programang ito, nagkaroon ng pagtatalaga ng Barangay Training and Employment Coordinator sa bawat barangay ng mga bayan at lungsod. Sila ang nagsisilbing katuwang ng mga PESO upang magsagawa ng iba't ibang programa at proyekto. Pangunahin na ang Skills Registry System. Para naman sa iba pang serbisyo at aktibidad ng PESO, nariyan ang Passport on Wheels, Entrepreneurial Development Training, POA Capability Enhancement on Overseas Employment, PESO Programs Training and Orientation for BTEC, TESDA Training for Work Scholarship Program, TESDA Technical Vocational Education and Training Enrollment, and Jobs Bridging, Training on Statistical Performance Reporting System, and Labor Market Information for PESO staff. Buwana Bulacan PESO Managers Meeting, Bulacan Career Guidance Advocates Network Incorporated Quarterly Meeting, at OFW Family Circle Federation Officers Oath-Taking. Ang lahat ng ito ay naglalayong magangat ng antas ng pamumuhay ng bawat Bulakenyo at kanilang pamilya. Mabuhay ang dakilang lalawigan ng Bulacan! Masiglang kabuhayan, kalakalan at trabaho para sa bawat Bulakenyo. Mahigit 5,000 Bulakenyo ang natulungang magkaroon ng trabaho sa pamamagitan ng mga isinagawang job and livelihood fairs at local and special recruitment activities. Nakapagsagawa rin ng 189 batches ng skills training na pinakinabangan ng mahigit 3,700 na mamamayan at nakapagbigay ng 2,500 na dagdag puhunan sa halos 200 Bulakenyong may maliit na negosyo. Trabaho. Pagsasagawa ng iba't ibang employment facilitation services gaya ng job and livelihood fair, serbisyo para sa Bulakenyo at local at special recruitment activities na naglalayong magkaloob ng oportunidad sa paghahanap buhay sa loob at labas ng bansa. Negosyo, pagkakaloob ng seminar at pagsasanay na ukol sa pagninegosyo at sariling hanap buhay. Mayroong kabuuang bilang ng benepisyaryo na 503 mula sa buong lalawigan. Kabuhayan, pamamahagi ng livelihood project starter kits, nego cart, at retailing of groceries para sa mga nagsipagtapos ng pagsasanay mula sa Livelihood Training Center at Community-Based Skills Training para sa iba't ibang kasanayan na mapapakinabangan ng higit kumulang 500 benepisyaryo mula sa vulnerable sectors ng buong lalawigan. Ito ay may kabuuang halaga na 5 milyong pisong ipinagkaloob ng Department of Labor and Employment sa pamahalaang panlalawigan ng Bulacan. Ang trabaho, negosyo, at kabuhayan ay siyang tema ng lahat ng Job and Livelihood Fair ng Provincial Youth, Sports and Public Employment Service Office sa pangunguna ng PESO. Sa pamamagitan ng Virtual Career Expo for Local Employment na may temang trabaho, negosyo, kabuhayan, trabaho para sa Bulakenyo, hatid ng Provincial PESO. Mula ika-23 na Oktubre hanggang ika-31 na Disyembre, taong kasalukuyan, na inaasahang lalahukan ng mahigit 1,000 mga aplikante at 100 pribadong kumpanya at ahensya.
Oh yeah, man. Street dances all over the world. Yeah. You know what you gotta do. Word. Yeah. Let's go. Come on. Oh yeah. The turntable spins using new ability, agility that wins. And then your crew got burned. To be the master of the craft, you gotta practice to learn, kid. The street dancer breaks with 1990s and the 80s paved the way for the days. B-boys emulating the greats like 40 Freeze, crazy legs, dynamic breakers with shake. Let's dance to the beat of the drummer that's funky. Way before the Beatles was bugging on Brass Monkey. Hip hop, new cruises, Foxy Enchilada. In the boxy DJing was Africa Bambaataa. Brought back to the Bronx, who hurt the innovator. DJ and sound systems toasting in Jamaica. Got posting, the host with the most, the money maker. Now I'm moving bricks, but I started out as a breaker. The turntable spins, brothers cautious, listening to Bob James Dauntless, and of course James Brown, funky drummer, the sound in the summer, before you saw the hustler in the Hummer. Yeah, and a few years later Melly Mel changed up his gear and switched the game up. The gangs of New York ceased banging for beat, once the whole 5 girls break dancing up in the street. Yeah, the turntable spins, the DJ and MC coincide like twins. The crowd grins cause they know what they came to hear. It's important what you wear, uniform in the fresh gear. Hip hop was visible and heard by many. A backdrop or a mural in the park with graffiti. Dancers, rappers, original, not phony men. Windbreaker jackets, knee pads on linoleum.
Dance, make it move, keep it poppin', keep it locked down. Dance, first position when they move, DJ spin it round. Dance, it's your time, time to shine. All the eyes on you. Street dance all over the world.
Hey, yo, you catch a wreck on the floor. Hey, yo, you catch a wreck on the floor. Hey, yo, you catch a wreck on the floor. Hey, yo, you catch a wreck on the floor. Hey, yo, you catch a wreck on the floor. Hey, yo, you catch a wreck on the floor. Hey, yo, you catch a wreck on the floor. Hey, yo, you catch a wreck on the floor.
Make it move, keep it poppin', keep it locked down. Dance, first position when they move, DJ spin it round. Dance, it's your time, time to shine. All the eyes on you. Street dance all over the world.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Robert from Jobs 180, and this webinar is part of the Virtual Career Expo organized by the Bulacan Public Employment Service Office and is done in collaboration with Jobs 180. Now, before we move forward, I would like to invite you first to join us for a quick prayer.
Praise God from whom all blessings flow.
Hello, and I would like to once again welcome you to the webinar for the Virtual Career Expo, Trabaho, Negosyo, Kabuhayan, Trabaho para sa Bulakenyo, hatid ng Provincial Peso. So thank you for coming, and I've seen meron na tayong viewers right now, and we want to get to know you better. So please, you will see sa comment box nyo, you can comment your name and school, or if you prefer, name and location. Okay, so comment nyo lang siya dyan anytime during the program. And well, we have 4 topics for today, and I would like to show them to you. For each topic, we will have one speaker representing a different company. One first is after graduation checklist by Ms. Jana Fabian, South Bend Express Services. Next, developing your communication skills by Mr. Louis Galicia, EEI Corporation. Next, gender equality in the workplace by Attorney Kenneth Ocampo Lentin. And last, motivation and productivity by Mr. Jason Hernandez of RGC. So these will be our topics today. We will have 4 topics. So the flow would be for each topic, bibigyan ng speaker kanilang talk, and at the end, meron tayong short Q&A. So I encourage everyone dyan din sa comment box, aside from commenting yung inyong name, school, or name and location, comment din kayo ng questions nyo kasi at the end of their talk, itatanong ko sa kanila kung ano may ilagay nyo dyan. Okay, so thank you very much. Now let's move on to our first speaker and our first talk, who will be talking about the after graduation checklist. To introduce her, Ms. Jan has almost 3 years of experience in the field of recruitment. Graduated from the St. Paul University, Manila, with a bachelor's degree in psychology, and is a board passer of the psychometrician licensure exam. Let's all welcome Ms. Jana Fabian, HR Associate of South Bend Express Services Incorporated. Hello, good afternoon, Ms. Jana.
Hi, sir.
Nice
Hi,
to see
good
you.
afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon. Yes, so Ms. Jana, you will be talking about the after graduation checklist. So ito ang mga gagamitin, ang kailangan meron ng ating mga future applicants after nila graduate. So so
Yeah.
far your video and audio is very clear. So let's try naman po your screen share for your presentation.
Okay. All right. For a second.
Sige lang, Ms. Jana. While Ms. Jana is sharing her screen again to our viewers, you could comment your questions. So at the end, pwede nating tanong kay Ms. Jana. And the same goes with the rest of our talks and sa speakers natin.
For a second. Wait lang.
Okay lang, Ms. Jana. Take your time. Hindi naman tayo na. So for our viewers, again, topics natin for today, 4 na topics tayo. And lahat to will be helpful for you kapag, well, after you graduate, looking for jobs, and, well, personal development. Kasama rin to, our topics, hindi lang naman siya specifically just for looking for jobs, although very helpful siya for you to get a job. Pwede nyo rin siya ma-apply sa other parts of your life, like communication skills. Yeah, it will be forever useful pagdating sa work, pagdating outside work, so on.
Ayun. Okay. Is it showing
Okay.
na, sir?
It is loading and I can see it. Pa-full screen na lang, Ms. Jana. And there it
Ayan.
is.
Okay na.
Okay, so okay na lahat, video, audio, and screen share. So babalik na lang ako for your Q&A. Thank you. Pag alis ko, you can start.
All right. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Again, I'm Jana from South Bend Express Services Incorporated, and I will be talking about the after graduation checklist. All right, but before I start, I wanted to share with you first my personal experience as a first-time job seeker. So during my time, wala pa akong napapanood na webinar before, so or baka ako lang yung hindi nakakapanood. So that time, my idea was really, I will apply and get a job. So yun lang yung formula ko, I will apply and get a job. So ano ba yung kailangan ko kapag mag-a-apply? So I thought resume is enough. So nag-print ako ng resume, first gumawa muna ako ng resume and then I printed mga ganyan yung bulk na print ko. And then I went to Makati So, nag-walk-in ako doon, pumunta ako sa iba't ibang companies doon, and then, send ako ng resume, bigay ako ng bigay ng resume without having any idea doon sa company na sinisendan ko. I'm not really familiar din kung sila ba ay may hiring or wala. And in the end, as a result, walang tumawag sa akin na company from those companies na sinendan ko ng resume. So, learning from that experience, I am here to talk about the after graduation checklist as a as a recruiter as well. So first, I will start with the credentials. So it is still important na meron pa rin tayong resume. Since dito sa resume kasi, dito nyo showcase yung inyong qualifications, your skills, your background na hinahanap ng isang recruiter. So I suggest that when you make your own resume, you craft it with complete, informative, and simple. Again, complete, informative, simple. Bakit itong tatlo yung tip ko or bakit ito yung hinahanap ko? Since as a recruiter, I'm looking for a resume na nandun na lahat ng hinahanap ko. And then informative para then ma-inform or mas makita ko yung credentials naman or yung qualifications ng tao na nag-a-apply sa amin. And syempre, simple, kasi kahit informative yung ating resume, we don't like it na mag-end ng 5 pages, di ba? So we wanted it na at least 1 to 2 pages. I think that's enough para ma-showcase mo yung inyong qualifications. So ito yung isang example of resume na I think it's an informative, simple, and complete. So, nandyan yung name, nandyan yung information, the applicant showed parang a summary dun sa profile niya. And then here, I highlighted this part kasi this is very important. So, as a first-time job seeker, I know na wala tayong experience pa sa work. But we can put there yung ating naging experience sa OJT. So, you put the company, the position, kung ano yung na-assign sa'yo, and then the tasks na ginawa mo. So, this will help you to market yourself, and also, this will help the recruiter naman to see your, ano na ba yung mga nagawa mo, kahit wala ka pang working experience. And then, on the other part, makikita natin yung, yung skills naman. So, the skills is, I like how the applicant presented yung kanyang skills. It's creative kasi parang nakagraph siya. So, nandun yung list of skills and then makikita mo dyan kung saan siya proficient and then alin dyan yung mga parang meron pa siyang needs improvement. So, for me, it's a plus-plus as a recruiter. And for this resume, ang hinahanap ko lang naman or I think kulang is picture. Okay. So, it's not required, but better na makapaglagay tayo ng picture. Para lang yan, yung pag-a-apply kasi parang pag-a-add lang sa Facebook, di ba? Ayaw naman natin mag-accept ng friend na walang picture. And also, I suggest na kapag naglagay tayo ng picture sa resume, ang ilagay natin is yung kung maganda corporate attire, pwede yung ginagamit natin sa 1x1 or 2x2. I think that's the best picture na pwedeng ilagay sa isang resume rather than yung parang katulad sa Facebook, 'di ba? May mga nag-a-add sa atin minsan ang picture is si Naruto. So ayaw naman natin na may ganun din sa resume, 'di ba? So next naman, since we are doing this in a virtual setup, so yung kumbaga yung pag-a-apply natin, virtual na siya. I suggest that you make your resume into PDF file or Word file. And then for us naman here in Jobs 180, very useful din siya sa aming recruiter. So I suggest you can send your resume link dito sa aming link na Tollways Career. Okay. All right. So next naman will be the IDs. So here I have the government IDs and then the valid IDs. I suggest that before you go out and mag-walk in sa mga branches nitong mga government branch na sasabihin ko or IDs na kailangan nyo i-process, I suggest that you check them online first. Kasi nga tayo po ay nasa new normal na and we wouldn't like to expose ourselves ng matagal sa labas, 'di ba? So I suggest you check them online kung ano na ba yung new process nila. Are they by appointment or pwede na ba mag-walk-in na lang? So utilize natin yung internet. Wala namang mawawala, 'di ba? Okay. So ito yung mga sinasabi ko sa inyo po na um, uh, mga government IDs. So these are mandatory benefits which are given to employees. So I suggest it is also mandatory for you to get this kasi lahat naman ng local companies will really require you na magkaroon ng mga ganitong IDs. So nilagay ko na dyan yung kanilang Facebook page at saka yung website. So we have the SSS, PhilHealth, and also Pag-ibig. Okay? And then next will be the NBI clearance. Ito, before and during the COVID, talagang by appointment na si NBI clearance. So I suggest na ngayon pa lang, magpa-appointment na kayo kasi na-experience ko as a recruiter dun sa mga naging applicant namin before, nagka-struggle sila sa pagkuha ng NBI clearance before kasi medyo matagal yung naging appointment. So it's best na kumbaga ngayon pa lang makapag-prepare na kayo, makapag-register kayo if it's your first time. If meron ka ng NBI before, you can just get the NBI number, tapos yun yung ilalagay niya dito online para makapagpa-appointment kayo. And again, nandun na rin yung kanilang website, nakalagay na rin dito sa aking presentation. And then next is additional valid ID. So why am I asking for additional valid ID? So it's because for companies then, when you are applying, it's part of the requirements for bank and payroll application. So mas okay na meron kayong additional ID, like you can try driver's license kung sanay ka mag-drive, Philippine passport, UMID, postal ID, and voter's ID card. So those are some of the valid IDs na pwede nyong i-try na kunin. And then next is yung inyo namang diploma, transcript of records, and certifications. These are supporting documents naman. Kasi di ba nilagay niyo sa resume ninyo, you have a bachelor's degree, and then may certification. So it's important din na ma-prepare niyo na yung mga files katulad nito. And since we are in a new normal setup, I suggest then na maging prepared tayo doon sa kapag hiningi na ng ating employer yung soft copies nitong mga documents and IDs na to. So I have a suggestion of for you to download itong mga applications na to. Personally, ito yung ginagamit ko. I have a cam scanner for scanning documents, and then Adobe Sign kapag nagsasign naman ako ng documents online. But there are a lot of applications that you can try. You can search that sa phone ninyo. So, no need na pumunta pa sa computer shop. Pwedeng-pwede na gamitin yung phone. So, let's utilize what we have during this pandemic. Okay, and then after that, now that we are prepared with the documents, okay, so meron na tayong resume, meron na tayong valid IDs, government IDs, the supporting documents. Here naman, on my last part of my checklist is prepare, prepare, and prepare. Bakit ba yun yung sinabi ko? Alright, so kasi hindi lang naman hard copies of documents ang kailangan natin i-prepare. We also have to prepare ourselves for applying sa mga trabaho na gusto nating applyan. Diba? So, I summarize it into an acronym. I have RAD. I call it RAD. So, letter R stands for research, and then A for anticipate, and B, dress for success. So again, it's RAD, research, anticipate, dress for success. Okay, so katulad ko, dun sa naging experience ko before, ayaw naman natin na maulit din yun sa inyo. So you have to research first about the company that you will be applying for. Check them online. For us in South Bend, we are available in Facebook. You can follow our page, South Bend Express Services Inc. And then for other companies, they have their own website. And then search nyo lang yung company profile, yung location, if fit ba yun sa inyo. But here in Jobs 180, it's like a one-shop stop. Tama ba? Kasi nandun na yung company profile, nandun na yung job qualification, job descriptions. So, it will save you time. And very useful talaga yung Jobs 180 sa ating mga job seeker and especially sa aming mga recruiters kasi kumbaga nakaayos na yung resumes ninyo. Segregate na siya to what positions are you applying for. So, ayun. So, after you get yung mga data na yon, you can use those data na nag-gather nyo to anticipate naman. So, what should you anticipate? So, you have to think what questions yung pwedeng i-ask sa'yo ng inyong recruiter during the interview. So, you can check it online. Merong mga common questions para sa interview. And then, formulate ka ng answer mo. And then, you practice it siguro in front of a mirror. Or I personally suggest you record yourself para makita mo rin how you register sa phone or sa virtually. Okay? And then this will help you to gain your confidence when answering and also para magkaroon ka rin ng parang knowledge bank during the interview. Okay? And then now that you are prepared with your sa knowledge about the company and then the interview questions, next naman will be the dress up for success. So, why is it still important? Virtual interview na lang naman ngayon. Kahit nasabihin natin sa bahay yung interview, it is still important to dress properly, present yourself ng maayos sa inyong interviewer kasi naniniwala ako na ang impressions never last. Impressions never last, but it is always important. Very important yung first impression, diba? So I suggest that when you are going for a virtual interview, you wear something like smart casual. For men, you can wear polo, ganyan, and then you for women, you can wear light makeup, and for men, siguro you can a good haircut will do. So, yun yung mga important things na you can do to really prepare yourself. Kasi how you present yourself then gives the recruiter an idea of anong kind ka ba na applicant. Kasi if you will be going in a virtual interview na naka-t-shirt ka, and then parang hinila ka lang bagong gising, it will give us an impression na parang, this applicant is not really interested. Kasi parang napilitan lang siya magpa-interview. But if you dress well, you present yourself well, it will give us an idea na this applicant is really interested, motivated, and really, he really wanted the job. So, yun yung mga impressions na binibigay nito pag-dress natin ng maayos during the interview. So, another thing is, bigyan ko lang kayo ng virtual interview tips bilang nandito na rin naman tayo. Okay? So, always check your internet connection if it is stable. Siyempre, yan yung pinaka parang dugo ng inyong interview, di ba? Parang yan yung yun ang importante para magkaintindihan kayo ng inyong recruiter or inyong interviewer. Next will be to navigate the application prior your scheduled interview. So you can ask your recruiter kung ano ba yung gagamitin niya or ninyo na app, maybe Skype or Zoom or Microsoft Teams or Google Meet. And then if ever na hindi ka pa ganun ka-familiar dun sa app, you can always try to explore it first para lang din during the interview hindi ka na mga pa, 'di ba? Kasi it will also cause you parang parang madidistract ka kapag hindi ka ganun ka-familiar dun sa app na ginagamit. And then always keep your virtual identity professional. Create a set, get rid of distractions. So ito, kalimitan kasi siyang nakakalimutan ng ating mga applicants, no? So bilang ang ating virtual interview happens sa bahay, it's really important din na after we prepare ourselves, our dress, ganyan, we prepare din yung ating surrounding, diba? So, make sure na walang lumalakad-lakad sa likod ninyo during the interview kasi it will also cause distraction between you and the interviewer. Nawawala yung focus ninyo sa, kumbaga, conversation. So, I suggest you can up to dun sa mga virtual backgrounds na available dun sa mga apps na gagamitin ninyo during the interview. And Ayun. So to end this webinar, I would like to end this with this reminder. So it might be a cliche na sabihin nga na just be yourself, but it's really important kasi know that you are prepared, you have the resume, you have the documents, kumbaga meron ka ng knowledge about the company, you prepared for the interview questions. So you have to be yourself na lang during the interview and just relax. Bring out the best in you, kumbaga, during the interview. So, yun lamang po. And I hope all of you, yung mga nanonood sa atin dito, will eventually get the job na gusto nila or ina-applyan nila.
Thank you, Miss Jana. Thank you
Alright.
for showing ang ating viewers yung specific documents nga na kailangan nila. So, yung mga documents na naging particular kayo and yun na rin nag-share kayo ng apps na gamit nyo and yung sa virtual interviews na hindi naman ina-expect from you. So, going beyond. Thank you for that. We have here a few questions for you. First is about sa resume, which is important nga sa after graduation checklist nila. Pwede raw ba if colorful yung resume?
So, for resume naman, hindi naman siya ganun kahigpit. I mean, me as a recruiter, hindi naman ako ganun colorful ba yung resume or hindi. Kasi what matters to me is really the content. Okay. So, but for me, it's really important na mas simple, the better yung resume.
Okay, Miss Marion Rivera. So, yan po ang sagot sa question nyo about having a colorful resume. In connection, Miss Jana, usually tinatanong na rin to. So, dagdag ko na lang kasi it's related dun sa resume. Yung number of pages. Kasi may nakita ko nag-comment din regarding this. Yung number of pages. Yeah, how long or ilang pages lang is appropriate. Lalo na, let's say, wala pa masyadong experience. Yun yung usual na nakikita kong issue.
Okay. So, actually, I mentioned it earlier, pero saglit lang. For the pages ng resume, I really suggest na mas okay yung mas maikli. Kasi wala namang, I don't think every recruiter will, spend the time to read every page ng isang 5-page resume. Diba? So, mas okay na to make it, siguro 1 to 2 pages is enough para mabigay nila yung qualifications nila dun sa resume.
Okay, so usually naman talaga expected na ma-fit natin into 1 to 2 pages content ng ating gusto ilagay sa resume. If sumusobra, baka figure out natin kung anong pwedeng bawasan. Sige. Miss Jana, this one is a question naman regarding sa pag-contact sa ating mga applicants. Ano usually yung way nyo of contacting them? Cellphone, landline, email, ganun.
Okay, for us here in South Bend, our practice is really via phone. So it's either we text them for the schedule of interview kapag virtual, or kapag naman phone interview, we call them right on hand. Kumbaga pagkakita namin ng resume and okay naman siya, tinatawagan na namin siya for interview. For phone interview
Okay. So, in connection din again sa sagot niyo, Miss Jan, about dun naman sa phone interview. This question is from me, but based to sa mga questions that I saw na before from our previous webinars. Sa phone interview, what if at the time na tumawag kayo, busy si applicant? Let's say, I don't know, nasa jeep siya, hindi siya makausap na maayos. Anong pwede gawin ni applicant when yun ang nangyari sa kanila?
I suggest that they text yung recruiter na tumawag sa kanila. O kung kaya naman nilang sagutin, they can answer it and then say na if ever pwede ba siyang i-reschedule, or kung hindi naman talaga kaya ng connection or talagang maingay, text is okay na, kumbaga. Kumbaga, i-notify lang natin yung recruiters natin.
Okay. So, thank you, Ms. Jana. Normal kasi I've been encountering yung mga applicants, kinakabahan sila, feel na nila if hindi nila in-entertain, sinagot, kinausap agad, sayang na yung application nila. So, to
akala
our
nila
viewers,
kumbaga akala nila parang kabawasan yun sa kanilang pag-a-apply kapag hindi nasagot.
Yes.
But for us recruiter naman, naintindihan naman namin yun.
Yes, so understanding din naman ng ating mga recruiters, our viewers, pwedeng sabihin nyo yung time na pwede kayong makasagot ng maayos. Yun nga sabi ni Ms. Jana, either sabihin nyo sa pagsagot nyo or text even. Okay?
Mhm.
Sa ito siguro last few questions na Ms. Jana.
Okay.
Ayan. Kailangan po ba laging naka-include ang character reference? Tanong ni Miss Diane Dizon. Character reference.
Actually, hindi naman. Hindi naman siya kailangan naka-include talaga dun sa resume kasi your HR or yung nag-interview sa inyo will ask about it naman kapag kailangan na. So, not really. But you have to prepare someone na ilalagay mo sa character reference mo once na hihingi na sa'yo.
So, dagdag na rin natin, Miss Jana, since nagtanong silang character reference, ano ang recommend mong character reference na pwede nila lagay?
So, for siguro yung mga first-time job seeker natin, they can put their dean or their professor or yung mga nakasama nila during the OJT, yung mga nag-handle sa kanila during the OJT. Pero always ask permission muna para kapag tinawagan naman ni recruiter or ni HR yung mga character references is familiar sila sa inyo. Kasi meron ding iba na hindi pala nasasabihan. So, yun, make sure lang natin na kilala talaga kayo ng character reference.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Jana. Last question na po tayo for our Q&A regarding to sa pag-complete ng kanilang after graduation checklist. So, other viewers from our previous webinars, ang tinatanong nila if they could start applying even if may kulang pa sila sa kanilang requirements.
Oo naman. They can really, kumbaga they can send resume naman na kahit wala pa sila ng mga government IDs or yung mga documents na binanggit ko. But it's better na talaga na prepared before sila mag-apply.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Jana. Nasagot na natin lahat ng questions from our audience. So, this ends yung portion of your talk. And well, thank you very much for joining us, for answering the questions. Hopefully, ma-invite namin kayo ulit dito. And for our viewers, kung gusto nyo makilala lalo si South Bend, you could check jobs180.com/alwayscareer. Makikita nyo yan sa ilalim ng screen nyo. Makikita nyo not only more info about the company and maybe even yung mga job openings nila. Okay, so thank you, Ms. Jana.
Thank
See
you.
you again. Bye.
Thank you, Jobs 180. Bye-bye.
Okay, so we were mentioning about dun sa pagdating sa resume. Nabanggit ka ni Ms. Jana is okay sa resume ay informative, simple, and complete. Now, nabanggit niya rin na sa Jobs 180 para maka-apply sa kanilang job openings, kailangan ng resume link. So, this resume link, it's our tool. It's very helpful para makuha nga na maging informative, simple, and complete ang inyong resume. So, it will make you stand out with yung mga details na talagang kakailanganin. Plus, sama ko na rin na ang main advantage pa, isa pa sa mga main advantages is its job security ng inyong resume. Kasi pagdating sa resume link, you have a control kung anong gusto nyong i-share. Meron kayong security options, turn on and off, yung mga gusto nyong i-share na details. Ang maganda dyan, real-time update siya. If for example, ngayon gusto ko ilagay ang aking birth date and then bukas, nagbago ko ng isip, ay ayoko na pala siya pakita, off ko lang sa settings, mawawala na. Unlike sa traditional resume, if you give them the copy and you change your mind sa kung anong gusto mong i-share, wala na. So, I think to make you appreciate better ang resume link, which I'm talking about right now, we would want to show you a short video about it, which we could play now.
There are 3 easy steps in creating a resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, antoniojuandelacruz.jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
Okay, so yan ang na-mention ko na resume link that you will be needing pagdating sa pag-apply sa aming jobs180.com site, but also you could use it outside din ng paggamit sa site namin. Okay, so we will now move on to our second topic with our second speaker, and our second speaker will be talking about developing your communication skills. Sir Louis holds a master's degree in industrial relations from the University of the Philippines, Diliman. He holds a postgraduate diploma in theology and labor relations from UST and UP Diliman, respectively. He earned trainer certificates from the People Management Association of the Philippines and from the Ateneo Graduate School of Business. He is also a certified Six Sigma practitioner and holds a TESDA Trainer's Methodology Certificate. Let's all welcome Mr. Louis Galicia, AVP for Human Resource Management of EEI Corporation. Good afternoon, Sir Louis. Are you there?
Hello, good afternoon, Robert. Good afternoon, everyone.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for joining us today. And your topic is about communication skills. So,
Yes.
earlier I said sa ating mga viewers, they could use this pagdating sa kanilang search for jobs, but also outside it. So, we
Yes.
are very excited to hear your talk about communication skills. So, test na po natin ang inyong screen share.
Sige, skin share. Okay. Palang
Sige. While Sir Louis is fixing yung kanyang screen share, remind ko lang ang ating mga viewers, this is actually just our second out of 4 topics, and for each topic, pwede kayong mag-ask ng questions dyan sa comment box. As seen earlier sa first topic natin, in-address siya ng ating speaker.
Yan, I think, can you see now my slides?
It is loading, and yes, I could see your slides na, sir. So I will be heading backstage and be back for the Q&A, and you could start the moment na nasa backstage na ako. Thank you.
All right, can I start na? Sige. Again, good afternoon, everyone, and I welcome you everybody for this initiative from jobs180.com and also PESO Bulacan. Again, as was mentioned, my name is Louis Galicia, and I'm the AVP for HR of EEI Corporation. So the topic assigned to me is to give you tips, at least tips, on how to develop your communication skills. But I would like to zero in on corporate communication skills. Yan. So isiningit ko dyan. So ano ba kaibahan ng usual communication skills natin and also to the requirement of our company, our offices in terms of communication skills. Okay? So simulan natin. Number 1 tip na naisip ko is of course is that we fix and polish our grammar. Okay, bakit ko yan ang unang sinabi? Because in my experience in HR at sa mga company na pinanggalingan ko, laging yaan, no, yung comment ng mga business owners and also the presidents and the mancom. No, Louie, pakituruan mo naman ang grammar yung mga empleyado natin kasi nagko-communicate yan sa suppliers, nagko-communicate yan sa mga kliyente, sa mga vendors, and when they do that, they represent the company. Kapag bale-balentong yung kanilang mga grammar, no, hindi nag-agree yung kanilang subject verb, ligaw-ligaw yung mga tenses, nagiging mahalaga yung pag-focus natin sa grammar, and also we should recall, no, that at ginalingan ko nung nag-aaral pa ako nung elementary at high school ng grammar because they will come in handy, no, when you join the corporate world kapag okay yung grammar nyo. Not necessarily perfect, but at least yung basic subject verb agreement, tenses, the use of prepositions, alam natin yung mga bagay na yon. Okay, so that's number 1, fix and polish your grammar. Number 2, write in acceptable communication formats. Please expect that when you join the corporate world, hindi naman bago, susulat naman na tayo ng email, meron pang other 2 communication forms, written communication forms, yung memo at business letter. At least alam lang natin yung tone ng bawat isa when we talk about emails, when we talk about memo, and we talk about business letters. Magkakaiba yung tono nila at magkakaiba yung tone, magkakaiba din yung haba ng mga letters na yan. Pag email, may mga ino-observe tayong email etiquette. For example, bawal mag-away sa email etiquette sa email. Okay? O kaya, nag-aaway kayo, name drop. Minsan, palakihan ng letters, palakihan ng font, all caps. Okay? That's not good communication skills when we join the corporate world. Okay? Tapos, ano ba yung mga napapansin ko? Nag-aaway, palakihan ng font, palakihan ng letters, tapos name dropping. Alright? So, name dropping, hindi siya acceptable format. O, hindi umaabot yun. I know this because maraming pagkakataon, inuutusan ako dati ng boss ko nung nagsisimula pa lang ako sa corporate, Louie, awatin mo nga yung dalawang yan. Kasi kanya-kanya ng sagutan at bawat sagot, kanya-kanyang name drop ng mga boss nila, pataasan ng mga dinename drop, no? Manager, senior manager, division manager, AVP, VP, presidente, hanggang dumating na sa board. Okay? And also the memo, kung ano yung mga announcements na kailangan maintindihan ng mga empleyado. And also business letters, if you're given the chance to compose a business letter, iba rin yung tone yun. Okay? We can learn a lot from the available resources we have now in the internet. Okay? Hindi na tayo mahirap maghanap. Ano ba? Tatype nyo lang, no? Business letter formats, makikita nyo ron. And also sa YouTube, may mga instructional videos tayo on how to write memos and also how to write business letters. So that's tip number 2, write in acceptable communication formats. Okay, number 3, communicate to convey a message, not to impress. And do not confuse this. Minsan kasi nauuna yung impressing kaysa communicating. Di ba? Minsan, mas focus tayo, highfalutin talaga yung mga words natin, high-tech yung mga words natin, pero hindi ka naintindihan. So you're defeating the purpose of why you are communicating because of the use of this non-usual and highfalutin words. Okay? So stick lang tayo doon. And also, when you join a company, they have established their own lingos. Ibig sabihin ng linggo, may kanya-kanya silang way of communicating, may mga terminolohiya. Sa amin, sa construction, sasabihin mo, makakarinig ka palagi ng bangga. Pag narinig mo, bangga. Ano ibig sabihin ng bangga? Yun pala, ibabangga mo. In simple terms, is apple to apple. Pag ibangga mo nga yung figures niyan doon sa figures sa kabila, bangga. Alright? So at least, mahuli ninyo, when you join corporations, when you join companies, be familiar with the lingos that are being used in that company. Again, because tip number 3, mahalaga that we communicate to convey a message. Okay? Not necessarily to impress. Okay? Kung talagang master mo na yung communication skills mo, you are articulate in the words that you say, and the thoughts that you want to express, then comes the impressing part. Doon yung magagamit sa sa tinuro kanina ng kasamahan natin from the other company sa recruitment. Okay? That's tip number 3. Tip number 4, speak in measurable terms. You will be familiar, you should be familiar with SMART statements, no? Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Napapansin ko to sa maraming mga aplikante and also junior and staff employees and even managers. Nagtuturo ako ng communication skills sa mga managers at maririnig mo sila speaking in non-measurable terms. For example, pag tinanong ka, tinatawagan ka ng boss mo, hinahanap ka sa meeting, anong usual? Saan ka na? Boss, malapit na. Kapag yung boss ninyo ay sanay sa mga measurable terms, hindi niya maa-appreciate yung mga words na malapit na. Yung mga words na andyan na. Okay? Pinapasubmit sa'yo yung report. Email mo na yung report. Boss, in a while. That is not acceptable in strict corporate communication. Instead, use measurable terms. When I say measurable terms, tumaya ka ng minuto, tumaya ka ng oras. Inaantay ka sa meeting, tinawagan ka na ng magiging boss mo, o ng boss mo, o asan ka na, mag-start na yung meeting. Do not say, boss, malapit na. Instead, say, tansyahin mo yung oras, boss, in 10 minutes, andyan na ako. Para dun sa utak ng boss mo, umaandar na yung metro mo. Ibig sabihin, in 1 minute, nandito ka na, in the 5th minute, nandito ka na, and the 10th minute, dapat bumukas na yung pinto niya kasi nandiyan ka na dahil tinayaan mo yung 10 minutes na yon. Same thing is true with emails. O hinihingian ka ng report, mga alanganing oras o sabihin nating oras. Boss, mamaya pa po. Hindi yun matatanggap sa utak ng boss ninyo. Okay? Again, speak in measurable terms. Boss, I will send to you the email in 5 minutes. Mas ma-appreciate yon ng mga boss ninyo. Okay? Minsan kasi nakakalimutan natin na kapag nakapasok na tayo sa opisina o sa corporate world, nagagamit pa rin natin yung linggo, yung lingwahe natin kung tayo-tayo lang magbabarkada. Diba? At alam naman natin yan, yung on the way na. Naku, nakakatakot yung mga on the way na. Saan ka na, pre? On the way na. Naku, kakagising lang yan, maliligo pa yan. Diba? So, yun ang mga iwasan natin. So, be agile in adjusting. Wala tayong problema kung baka barkada nyo yan. But once you enter your foot in the corporate world or talking about business or talking to your teammates or boss, speak in measurable terms. Number 5, be articulate. Avoid fillers, katulad ng ano, kwan, prang-like. Okay. Okay? Minsan, maski business meeting, naririnig ko yan. Yung ano, kasi inano ni ano, yung ano, kaya nag-ano. So, kung ikaw ay kasama sa meeting na yon, wala kang makukuhang info kasi puro ano. Di ba? O kaya naman, kwan. Kasi yung kwan, o kaya naman, yung prang-like, okay? So, iwasan na yun. Again, the agility to transition from the usual barkada lingo or day-to-day lingo to corporate and office lingo. Dapat pag nagsuot ka na ng uniform mo, kapag nagsimula na yung oras ng trabaho mo, mindset mo, nagta-transition. Okay, I should sound like business. Okay? I should speak about business. I should sound like a professional. Okay? So, iwasan nyo yung ano. Minsan kapag bully pa yung boss na maabutan ninyo, kasi sir, ma'am, yung ano, ganonin kayo. May mga ganong klaseng mga boss, no? Puro ka ano, wala akong maintindihan sa'yo. Ayan. Okay? Sige, so at least, tandaan nyo lang yan. Kasi minsan may mga boss na lalo na kapag tense, kapag stress, minsan, hindi ko maintindihan yung report mo, puro ka ano, puro ka kuan. Ganyan. Right? Number 5, speak about things that matter to the business. Okay. So dito pa lang, alam na natin na dapat pag nasa office na tayo, bawal pag-usapan yung kapwa natin empleyado. Bawal chismisan, no? Sa corporate world, sa ibang mga kumpanya, nakalagay yun sa kanilang code of discipline. Kaso ang mag-chismis, no? Ang rumor mongering at gossiping, kaso yun. Okay? Dahil pag nasa office ka or nasa corporate setting ka, you should speak about things that matter to the business. Okay? So bawal pag-usapan yung kapwa empleyado, bawal pag-usapan yung personal na buhay niya. Hindi natin pwede pasukin yun kasi pag nasa trabaho tayo, dapat trabaho lang. Alright? Ano yung sinasabi kong things that matter to the business. Get familiar with this, yung tinatawag nating balance scorecard. At the end of the day, when you join the corporate world, ang laging pinag-uusapan is about accomplishments. It's about how we contribute to the progress of the business. And there are 4 things that we can contribute to the success of the business. Number 1, financial perspective. Yan, pakitandaan yan, mag-google nyo yan. Business process, customers, and learning and growth. Ibig sabihin, yung mindset mo rin dapat naka-align so that you can communicate better and aligned with how the bosses or management think. Okay? For example, pag pumapasok tayo sa office, financial perspective, hindi naman kailangan laging pera ang pinag-uusapan. Okay? At least you think and you acquire the mindset of someone who is conscious and aware of financial impacts. Okay? Bawat galaw mo natin, dapat alam nyo yan. No? Naka-annualize na yung mga sweldo natin, mga DOE, mga CAPEX, mga salaries and benefits natin, naka-annualize na yan. Nakikita na ng mga may-ari ng kumpanya kung magkano yung pinaka-expenses nila for the year, ilang businesses, how much the size of the business or revenue they should target para ma-compensate yung expenses nila, and also the target gross and net revenue. So nakikita na yan. So bawat galaw natin sa kumpanya, sukat, may katapat na pera yan. Okay? Internal business process, yan naman kung gaano mo kabilis o kabagal na di-deliver yung products or services mo to the targeted client or to the targeted market. Okay? Customers, iingatan din natin yan. Sabi ko nga, in line with this topic, yung communication skills natin, we represent the company in terms of communication, communicating with clients or external partners like vendors and suppliers and even government agencies kung ano yung industriya natin. So mahalaga din yun na yun ang pinag-uusapan natin at malinaw yung ating communication skills at tama. And then learning and growth, diyan kayo magaling dapat, no? In terms of communication, communicating learning and growth, ako personally, natutuwa ako sa mga empleyado who have good ideas and initiatives and they communicate it well. Yung mga lalapit sa'yo, sir, ma'am, boss, mukhang tumutukod po yung ganitong process natin. Maybe we can do this and I believe this is better. Diba? Kapag ganun yung mindset ninyo, and that's how you communicate sa corporate, kapag nakapasok na kayo sa corporate, maraming matutuwang mga boss sa inyo. Okay? Kapag yung ikaw palagi ay nag-i-initiative, kung ikaw palagi yung nagkukusa, kapag ikaw palagi yung nag-iisip, how to do things better. Right? Number 7. Yan. Hindi ko lang alam kung nasa tama pa akong oras. Eto. Alright. Do not scratch your head or pick your nose. Okay? Hindi siya written communication, hindi na siya oral communication. Ito yung mga intangibles, hindi mo ma-capture kung written communication, hindi mo makita kung ito ay oral presentation. But when you present, okay, huwag kayong tipong nagkakamot, nasa harapan ka, sabihin natin business reporting, you're reporting your accomplishments for a month or for a quarter, business review, nakatayo ka sa harapan, and then tinanong ka, o hindi mo alam, o you made a mistake, an honest mistake, huwag tayong, boss, sorry, kamot. You will not look professional. Lalong-lalo na yung nangungulangot kayo. You're picking your nose. Diba? Sagwa nun nakita. Kung nakita ka ng mga top management at boss, unang-una, ew. Diba? Nagkakamot. Oh, picking your nose. And second, okay, asan na yung professionalism? What are you communicating to us? Diba? Yun ang mapapansin. Especially during meetings and business presentations. Dati may mga tinetrain ako. Okay? A group of staff being considered for promotion to the supervisory level. So, daan sila sa program. Okay? Yung isa doon palagi, 10 sila. Yung isa doon palagi, magaling, matalino. Pero sa sobrang talino niya, kapag nagkakamali siya, he takes it very seriously. And he takes it very seriously, talagang tumutupi. If you understand that term, tumutupi yung katawan niya. Ay, sorry boss. Biglang kakamot ng ganon. O di, finals na kami, presentation skills. Sabi ko sa kanya, isa lang measure ko sa'yo. Okay? Wag na wag kang magkakamot. Kahit magaling yung presentation mo, wag na wag kang magkakamot. Pag nagkamot ka, wala na tayong pinag-uusapan, babagsak kita. Talagang lahat kami nanonood. Wala kaming naririnig sa dinidiscuss niyang topic, sa dinidiscuss niyang research. Lahat kami nakaabang kung magkakamot siya o hindi. No? And luckily and fortunately for him, napigilan niyo yung kamay niya magkamot kahit nagkakamali siya paminsan-minsan. And he passed. No? Talagang ipinasa namin ang ganyan. Okay? Dahil you're communicating something, no? Kapag tayo ay laging nagkakamot. And then, o kaya, yung isa pa, no? Iwasan natin yan. Number 8, be polite. In business, you are always part of a team. Okay, sa wikang Tagalog, alam natin yung mga maaangas, yung mga astig, yung mga mayabang, di ba? Okay lang yun. Pero always understand that when you join the corporate world, okay, or corporate setting or office, we should be polite. Okay? In business, ang take ko dyan, we are always part of a team. Part ka ng team, ng section ninyo, yung section nyo, part ng department, yung department, part ng division, yung division, part ng group, at yung group, part ng buong kumpanya. Okay? At hindi natin alam yung mga pinagdadaanan ng mga kasama nating, mga kapwa nating empleyado. So as much as possible, be polite. Kahit yung galit na galit ka na, magbilang ka muna ng 10 or your own way of controlling your anger bago natin ibulalas yung saloobin natin. Okay? Bottom line, we should be polite when we deal with our colleagues once you are in the corporate world. Last 2. Number 9, communicate even bad figures. Do not hide it. Okay? Nagiging sakit to ng maraming mga empleyado sa mga kumpanya dahil sa sobrang takot mag-communicate ng bad figures and the consequences of it, tinatago. Okay? At hindi alam ng top management kung totoo na ba o hindi na totoo yung naririnig nilang report and they cannot make sound decisions over it. Okay? At the end of the day, lugi kumpanya, fold up kung kumpanya, mawawalan tayo ng trabaho. And marami tayong mga cases na ganyan ng mga kumpanya na tinatago yung mga informations or reporting wrong audit reports, hindi makapagbigay ng sound decisions yung mga mancom or yung top management, kaya bumabaksak yung kumpanya. Okay? Nalulugi yung kumpanya and nagpo-fold up yung kumpanya. I do not know where is this coming from. Pero yung the way we grow up in our own homes, minsan taki pa ng mali. Diba? Pag nakabasag tayo ng baso, nakabasag ng plato, dali-dali nating winawalis yun para wala nang report na manggagaling doon. And I think sometimes this kind of mindset is brought to the corporate setting. Pag may maling ginawa, tago nyo. Huwag nyo re-report kay boss. Diba? Nalalaman na lang kapag pumutok na sa dulo, ang lala na pala ng sitwasyon. So tip number 9, communicate even bad figures. Ipapagalitan ka for a time. Okay? Depende sa tindi ng bad figures na iyon. May mga terminable. Pero yung mga maliliit, huwag kayong matatakot doon. No? Kasi pag nalaman pa ng boss nyo yun sa ibang tao na hindi sa'yo nanggaling, mas yari. Okay? So do not hide it or do not conceal it. And lastly, number 10. Yan. Communicate the truth with honesty and integrity. Alright. Ganon din sa lahat ng bagay. Okay? Para maging successful ka sa career mo, it will help you so much if you communicate the truth with honesty and integrity. Okay? Kung may sakit ka, kung nagtatrabaho ka na, you can avail your sick leave para gamitin yun. Diba? Marami tayong mga, sa experience ko sa corporate, minsan gamit na gamit yung sick leave, no? Pagpasok sa trabaho, after the sick leave, walang mapakitang medical certificate, tapos puro sunburn. Diba, sabi ko, nakaka-sunburn na pala yung sakit ngayon, diba? Parang gano'n. Dapat pumuputi ito kung nakulong sa bahay ito at nagkasakit. That's one, diba? Kung malilate tayo, sasabihin bakit na late. Ako, dami ko ng kinoach kung bakit. Kapag panay-panay yung late mo, yung dating setting, no? Yung matinding pumapasok pa tayo sa office, but we are in another situation right now. Okay? So whatever it is, no? Huwag tayong iimbento ng storya, iimbento ng kwento just to cover up something. it will be beneficial for you to become successful in your career if you communicate the truth always and make that a habit with honesty and integrity. Okay? So with this 10, okay, 10 tips on how to develop your corporate communication skills. Again, maraming salamat sa jobs180.com and also for the Bulacan PESO for inviting us here to join you in your initiative. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sir Louie. Thank you sa pag-highlight ng need for communication skills and also showing na beyond yung verbal communication skills,
Yes.
meron yung pati yung writing, pati non-verbal na sama natin. So we have here a few questions for you. Yung sa first, I believe ito yung first yung point about sa grammar. Paano if our viewers are more fluent sa other languages? Let's say, papasok sila sa interview pa lang or even reporting, nagre-report na sa office and they are very fluent sa ibang language.
Okay. That is in line with my other slides. I think it's number 4 or number 5 na focus more on communicating your message rather than impressing them with your fluency in English. Okay? Minsan kasi nalulunod yung topic o yung point o your info, yung pinaka-message kapag napo-focus yung presentation sa, uy, magaling ako, fluent ako mag-English. Doon ang napo-focus. So, ano ba ito? No? Presentation skills ba ito or you're reporting your accomplishments or your info? Okay? Ang akin, iwasan lang yung code switching. If you start your sentence in Tagalog, tapusin mo Tagalog. Okay? Pag sinimulan mo ng English, yan, sige, gapangin mo, tapusin mo ng English ang sentence mo. Okay. Okay. Sige.
Okay, so thank you, Sir Louie. So to our viewers, what's important is yung content ng message and how to get it across more so than trying to impress anyone with your, sabi nga ni Sir Louie, highfalutin words. And yeah, code switching, very important. I guess kung as friends na mention din ni Sir Louie, pwede tong code switching, starting with English, palit sa Tagalog, some tumula pa lang Taglish na. But of course, sa corporate settings, sa interviews nyo, sa presentations nyo, avoid doing this. Sir Louie, I have another question here. You mentioned earlier about ating mga viewers na wag matakot mag-communicate with sa boss nila about ideas, something to that effect. What if something yung may na-overlook si team leader pero ikaw as part of the team, mas alam mo kasi yung fine details. Paano mo siya ma-approach without offending? Ganun.
Oo. Hindi naman lahing nangangagat yung boss. Okay? Ideally, no? Dapat ma-appreciate ng mga boss yun kasi sa sobrang daming iniisip ng team lead o kung sino man ang boss na kapag may nag-i-input sa kanya na subordinate niya, boss, mukhang may na-overlook tayo. No? Mukhang sasablay tayo rito. One thing, it should be about the approach. Okay? Should be the approach and also the comment should be factual. Okay? It is another story kapag yung boss ay, sabihin natin, may yabang, may angas, na hindi marunong tumanggap ng mga comments like that. Pero ang tingin ko, at siguro that's another session, no, kung paano dapat i-take ng mga boss yun. Okay? Pero from the side of the subordinate, tama ka, ikaw yung nakakakita ng detalye. Ikaw yung nakasakay doon sa process. When you see some glitches, that should be communicate. Ang rule ko lang dyan, yung sinabi ko nga kanina, dapat factual, hindi invento, and it should be polite. Ganun. At hindi na parang yung parang sarcasm na, boss, mali-mali ka. Magagalit talaga yon, parang gano'n. Okay.
So, based on facts and be sure to be polite. So, to our viewers, kaya nyo na yan. I believe na kaya niya maging factual and polite sa paglapit sa boss.
Yes.
Dito naman tayo, sir, sa teammates natin, sa colleagues. Kasi earlier we went dun sa boss. How do you communicate with, let's say, a difficult teammate? Parang hindi siya, mahirap siya makasama sa team, whether sa work ethics or, I don't know, baka yung pag-communicate niya medyo rude siya. So, mga ganon. Paano pwede lapitan ang teammates mo naman?
Okay. Kapag as in obvious at sobrang disruptive na yung attitude or rude, tama yung term mo, if I may use your term na rude, ang kailangan lang, that should not be addressed by a colleague. That should be reported first to the boss. Diba? And that should be brought to the attention of the boss. Kasi mahirap yon, parang, bawa, colleague tayo, same rank tayo, and I corrected you. Pre, ganyan. Diba? Ang Pilipino pa naman, sino ka? Pareho lang tayo rango rito Yung mga ganon yan. Diba? Doon tayo sa totoo, nangyayari talaga yon, okay? But if there is a sentiment, kung ikaw lang naman yon, at least tingnan mo rin yung nangyayari sa paligid, baka ikaw lang. Pero if you observe that it has become a pain for the team and the performance of the team is being affected, that should be brought to the attention of the immediate superior para siya yung mag-handle. And si immediate superior, doon papasok yung kanyang coaching and mentoring skills.
Thank you, Sir Louie. I see na medyo mahirap yan. Let's say kung binibring up mo is about sa quality ng work. Talagang kung same rank, colleague talaga, sabihan mo may maling ginawa, magiging issue yan. So thank you, Sir Louie, na advice nyo given to our viewers ay realistic din, looking at kung anong expected nating na maging reaction. Alam naman natin na sana hindi ganito ang reaction nitong mga teammates natin kapag ganon. But be realistic, we should expect, and better nga idaan sa ating bosses.
Yes.
Thank you for that, Sir Louie. This is it for our Q&A portion. To our viewers, to get to know more about yung company ni Sir Louie, go to jobs180.com/EEI Corporation. You can see that at the bottom of your screen. Sir Louie, thank you for joining us today. Hopefully, we can invite you to our other webinars, maybe have a different topic or kahit ito ulit, and maybe a panel member doon sa iba. Marami po tayong options, and hopefully, we get to see you again. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Jobs180. Bye-bye.
So that was Sir Louie. That was our second topic, and it was about communication skills. Now, meron pa tayong 2 topics, but before tayo sumunod tuloy ang third and fourth topic natin, gusto ko again magpakita ng short clip para sa inyo.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com and click Register now. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and is easy to recall by potential employers, and fill out the other information needed.
Register, go to your email address and validate your jobs180.com account to activate.
Step 2. Complete your resume link. When creating your resume link, make sure to complete your personal and contact information, your profile picture, and your cover photo. You can also put your objectives, work options, work experience, certifications, achievements, skills and languages, references, and portfolio. Your resume link also features different themes and a cover photo. Step 3. Submit your resume link. If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link, or you can even share the job vacancy with your friends. also apply for jobs outside jobs180.com by sending your resume link through any platform. Register, complete, submit your resume link.
So what are you waiting for? Turn your life around by creating your own resume link and applying for your dream job.
So that was another clip about our resume link, and hopefully as soon as possible mag-register na kayo, make your account, and don't forget to validate para makapag-apply na tayo sa ating mga job openings. So moving on to our third topic, we will have the topic is gender equality in the workplace. I believe this is a very relevant topic, and we have been improving thanks to experts like our speaker today. She is faculty at La Consolacion University, Philippines, and an active member of the Kababaihang Manananggol ng Bulacan. She obtained her bachelor's degree on economics and law at the University of Santo Tomas and has been in government service for 15 years and as a law practitioner for 10 years. Let's all welcome from PYSPESO Department Head and currently the Provincial PESO Manager, Attorney Kenneth Ocampo Lente. Good afternoon, Attorney Kenneth.
Hi, good afternoon, Robert.
Good afternoon, ma'am. So as
Okay.
mentioned, you will be talking about gender equality, and ako sa akin mismo, I believe it's a very relevant topic today, and we are continuously improving sa pag-recognize nito thanks to yung efforts nga natin ng experts tulad niyo po. So to begin po tayo, let's try po ang ating share screen. And
Okay.
it is okay na po.
Alright.
I could see the share screen, your video is fine, audio is fine. So I will be backstage and back for our Q&A. You can start po the moment na nasa backstage na ako. Thank you.
Thank you again, Robert. So, hello everyone, especially ang ating Jobs 180 team. Thank you for hosting us today sa aming webinar series number 2 of the Pre-Employment Orientation Seminar. This is still part, of course, of our Virtual Career Expo for 2020, brought to you by the Provincial Government of Bulacan through the Bulacan PESO. So magandang araw po sa ating lahat, sa ating mga viewers, listeners, job seekers, ang ating mga program partners who are also tuned in right now, sa amin po mga kasamahan na PESO managers across Bulacan, ang amin pong mga busy gani or career guidance advocates led by Jason Hernandez, who is also, I believe, a speaker on today's webinar. And of course, my office, they are tuned in, helping me in tech issues right now, so hindi tayo masyadong techy. Before I forgot, hi Kim Chua of Jobs 180. So anyway, Robert probably forgot to mention to you, I think, hindi ko alam kung bakit na-assign sa akin yung topic, but to my mind, siguro because this is about gender, so siguro naging qualification ko dito mainly is because I have a gender neutral name. So my name is Kenneth. So madalas pong napagkakamala na ako ay lalaki. So for the longest time, I finished my grade school na lagi po akong nandoon sa hanay ng mga male. Kaya po pag opening of classes, hinahanap ng parents ko kung saan room ako, they cannot find my name. Kasi doon sila tumitingin sa female. Andun pala ako sa male section. So anyway, well, here's my topic, gender equality in the workplace. So I promise you this will be a gender balanced lecture, primarily because I am a gender neutral person. So naka-plug naman yan eh. So my name is Kenneth. You can call me K for short. So, naging trend din ata ito yung pagkakaroon ng gender neutral name. Well, I guess I do not blame my parents, but I really have to hand it to them for giving me a very gender neutral name. Kasi to my mind, having this name uh, increases my increases my capacity and potentiality to perform works that are often dominated by male. So girl power po ang tema ng aking pangalan. So I think we're coming in now to this world that we are breaking down gender stereotypes, and parents are opting to not box their child in the feminine sound of their name. So yun lang, sinishare ko sa inyo as an opening statement of my topic. So what will you be expecting from this talk? This is rather a very short talk. So kaya lang, I guess a lot of you listeners are not really aware what is this gender equality or God is all about. Okay? So what do you expect from this talk? Well, I hope to familiarize everyone the importance of gender equality in workplace because it impacts the way how we perceive work and how to inform everyone. I want to inform everyone, especially women in the workforce, of your rights as a worker. Okay? So, marami kasing benefits pag nalaman mo kung ano itong tinatawag na gender equality because gender equality based on study, it results in improved health, it saves lives, it is also good for the business and the economy in the long run. And of course, it reduces the incidence of illegal trafficking kasi napapalakas po natin ang mga kababaihan so hindi po sila nagiging usual target ng mga ganitong klaseng mga activities. So dahil nabanggit ko lang yung illegal trafficking, I like to mention and to say hi to one of our viewers. Alam ko nanonood siya kahit nasa POEE siya, si Attorney Tina Andal. So hello po at ang kanyang boss na si Attorney Kiko de Guzman. Nabanggit lang kasi yung word na anti-illegal recruitment eh. So anyway, let's proceed with our talk. So gender and development in the Philippines. Okay, next slide please. So we cannot understand what is gender equality in workplace without first knowing what is gender and development. So GAD for short. Well, there you have it. So Gender and Development Program of the Philippines is anchored both on international commitments and local laws. Inadapt na rin po natin sa Pilipinas yan. But it all started with CEDAW or the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. This is an international treaty adopted in 1979. So ito, because of this, it provided the impetus for the adoption of GAD in our laws in the Philippines. Okay? So, next, you will read the statement. Sabi nga po ng CEDAW, ang diskriminasyon laban sa kababaihan ay malinaw na paglabag sa mga prinsipyo ng pagkakapantay-pantay at paggalang sa karapatang pantao. Hindi po sa akin ito nanggaling. It came straight from the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. So, hinighlight ko po yung word na diskriminasyon at saka kababaihan kasi baka po mamaya yung mga ibang audience natin nagre-react. Hindi lang naman po mga kababaihan ang gender bias sa ating society. There are also instances na pati ang lalaki nakaka-experience din ng gender bias. Anyway, ito po ay hindi po creation ng ating imagination. This is already provided, respected, and adopted both in international and local laws, the main purpose of which, of course, is to reinforce the rights of women who are often viewed as mas mahina, weaker sex compared to male. Okay? So next. Okay, so when we talk about discrimination, it is of course inevitable to discuss gender stereotype. So what do you mean by gender stereotype? So when you say stereotype, it means this is the conventional or oversimplified image. So marami tayong mga examples dyan. So what are those? So sa atin, sa Philippine setting, sa context ng Pilipinas, women are often viewed to be submissive to the husband dun sa household setup nila, and the husband or the male are the dominant. Well, women are often attributed to occupy jobs that are more clean. So yung mga clerical jobs, secretarial jobs, mga librarian, yung mga masyadong laid back na trabaho. But when you mention male or men, they are those who occupy jobs that relate to mathematics, science, engineering, and technical knowledge. Tapos, ano pa ba? So this is very common. Women do the dirty works in a household while men are portrayed to be macho. So yung hindi pwedeng maghiwalay ng dekolor sa puti o di kulay sa puti. So babae ang gumagawa niyan. Sa iba't ibang larangan din, marami din tayo na experience ng stereotyping or yung conventional image or appreciation kung ano yung isang babae. Okay? So men are focused on their careers. This is the very conventional and oversimplistic appreciation of our society. So family takes just the second place at ang lahat ng namamahala o nangasiwa sa bahay ay mga babae. This is the history or the what you call this ito yung naging source ng kaisipan ng mga Pilipino kung bakit yung mga kababaihan tinitignan sa ganong aspect na mahina. Kasi lumaki po tayo sa kultura sa Pilipinas na lalaki po yung nagsusuot ng pantalon o nung salawal. Samantalang ang mga babae, sila po yung mga nakapalda. Alright? I promise you, this talk will be very, very quick. So we are just reviewing or familiarizing ourselves with the definition of gender and development because this is strictly, this is really, in fact, intertwined to the concept of why we want a gender equality in workplace. So sabi ko nga kanina, previously, when I read to you the adoption of CEDAW dun sa ating treaty way back in 1970s, dinala na rin natin siya or in-incorporate na rin natin yung concept ng God sa ating mga batas and the passage of the Magna Carta of Women or Republic Act number 9710 is really a big step para dito sa pagpo-promote ng God sa Pilipinas. Okay? Gender and development was developed in 1980s as an alternative to the women development approach, yung tinatawag nating WID approach. So unlike WID, so ito yung pinanggalingan ng tinatawag nating God, God approach is not concerned specifically with women, but with the way in which a society assign roles, responsibilities, and expectations to both men and women. So pag nag-Google kayo, and then you Google their gender equality, usually ang ilalabas sa inyo mga clip arts or mga artwork, ang itsura niyan parang yung babae, tas lalaki, tapos may equal sign. Well, we need to correct that notion kasi talagang magkaiba talaga ang babae at saka lalaki. That's why yung ibinabasa atin na concept ng God sa Pilipinas ay hindi concerned lang sa kababaihan. Binibigyan lang ng mas malaking importansya or mas mabigat na diin yung mga kababaihan kasi ang goal ng gender ay ng God, sa Pilipinas is to make everyone understand and appreciate that the societal roles can be assigned either to women and men. So yun yung concept niya. It's not really that equal na balance. What we are really trying to balance here are the responsibilities, the roles, and expectations both from men and women. So God applies gender analysis to uncover the ways in which men and women work together, and the purpose of which is to arrive in neutral terms in terms of competence, business, economics, health accommodations. So yan, yun yung tungkol sa Magna Carta, and this is really a big step para sa God sa Pilipinas. Okay? Next. Ayan. So, pag sinabi natin God, and I think this is quite popular among government institutions at siguro sa corporate world na din because this is mandated by law, yung tinatawag nating God mainstreaming. So, ano ba yung tinatawag na mainstreaming? This is the process of transforming gender blind organization to a gender-responsive organization. So, ito yung methodology kung saan ipinapasok natin yung concept ng gender and development sa workplace o kaya sa mga establishments, especially or particularly sa offices. So, what are the two main thrust of God mainstreaming. So we have here making women's as well as men's, kasi sabi ko nga po sa inyo, hindi lang ito nakafocus primarily doon sa kababaihan, kasama din yung mga lalaki. Okay? Making women's as well as men's concerns and experiences an integral dimension of the design, implementation, monitoring, and evaluation of policies, programs, and projects in all social, political, civil, and economic spheres so that women and men benefit equally. So, ang haba nung sentence, pero you will catch the keyword there, okay? Women and men benefit equally. Okay? So, yung pangalawang focus ng God mainstreaming is to assess the implications, again, magkasama uli, women and men of any planned action, including legislation, policies, or programs in all areas at all levels. So, ang ibig sabihin ng pangalawang thrust ng God mainstreaming, kasama, okay? Ina-accommodate yung implication nitong mga conditions na ito sa babae at saka sa lalaki para sa mga ginagawa nating mga polisiya at saka mga batas. So, yun po ang ibig sabihin na tinatawag nating God mainstreaming. Okay? So now, we arrive on the topic na what the fuss is all about. So why it matters? Why are we talking or why are we discussing gender equality in workplace, lalo na sa pre-employment orientation seminars na kagaya nito? Okay? So, there is a compelling evidence that gender diversity leads to enhanced business performance and stimulates economic growth. Dito sa setting natin sa Pilipinas, wala tayong masyadong proven or tangible evidence or statistics that would really pinpoint that having gender diversity will lead to economic growth. Pero there are implications and there are understandings in terms of society roles na magsasabi sa atin na it is very healthy to have a gender diverse workplace. Okay? So although women and men are equally capable of leadership, kagaya sa mga workplace, so ito yung madalas na advocate ng mga kababaihan, yung leadership role na karaniwan and na-stereotype, okay? So yung ating inclination na ang mga leader or strong leaders should be men and not women. So naa-apply din po yan sa workplace. Okay? So, sa workplace, there are issues na kapag ka ang boss mo lalaki, talagang syempre, mas feeling mo, mas strong leader siya, kumpara dun sa babae na kung mag-decide, parang papalit-palit, inconsistent, napapakiusapan, nakakaapila sa sense of sentiments nila and emotions. So, may mga ganun tendencies. Okay? So, why does it matters? Having the importance of having to know the gender equality or gender inequality, yung opposite meaning niya, it is all geared to end all forms of discrimination against women and girls, okay? Particularly. And to make everyone understand that this equality is a basic human right, okay? And it is also crucial in accelerating sustainable development. Okay? So, marami kayong mga studies na mapapatunayan at it will support that itong gender equality or diversity in workplace is really helpful not only on the part of the employee but also on the part of the companies. Okay? So, gender inequality in the workplace, what do you mean by gender inequality? It means discrimination, okay, according to gender orientation. In the context of the labor and employment, it is a gender disparity issue. Okay? Itong gender disparity issue na to, at matagal na po itong issue sa workplace at pinopromote ng iba't ibang government, lead government agencies natin, okay? They are really demanding for a very definitive policy framework. Kasi pag wala tayong policy framework, walang guides or walang parameters how we are going to bring about gender equality in workplace, hindi mali-level yung playing field. All the promises stated in the Magna Carta of Women, all the statements stated in the treaties that we adhered to will be all empty shells. So hindi natin siya ma-fulfill, hindi natin siya maki-carry out. So parang pangako yan ng isang boyfriend mo na ibibigay sa'yo, susungkitin ang mga lahat ng mga stars at ibibigay sa'yo ang buwan, which you know is really very impossible to do. So ito yung fate ng gender equality or demand natin for gender diversity. Okay? So makikita niyo dun sa picture, talagang inilagay ko siya. I really like this picture and that's why I wanted to share it with you. So you would see, so mukhang dalawa silang career person based on their attire. And then you will see the ladder nung babae. She needs to go up, pero how? Ang tanong paano? Samantalang yung lalaki, yung ladder niya, makikita mo puno. So definitely, that man will really reach the top stair. Okay? So ano ibig sabihin? The message is very clear. Filipino women not moving up the ladder fast. So kahit sabay sila, kahit paunahin ng lalaki, yung babae, hindi makakarating or mauuna yung babae sa top ng ladder. Okay? Ang kagandahan naman po, because government agencies, institutions, for example, dito sa provincial local government units, kagaya sa Bulacan, na kung saan required itong pagkakaroon ng GAD framework at GAD mainstreaming sa workplace, kine-create siya usually ng executive order or directive ng local chief executive kung saan merong GAD secretariat na nakatutok to ensure that GAD is implemented across the programs of the institution. Well, the Philippines boast of being one of the most gender equal countries in the world for the past years. So I lifted this and I just read it to you. Based on 2019 Gender Diversity Benchmark for Asia or the GDBA, this is a very authoritative report. This is a Hong Kong-based report, a non-profit organization for community business. Nag-rank ang Philippines, okay, first in overall gender diversity in workforce among 10 Asian countries. Pero yung ating mga women advocates ay sumisigaw ng paano nangyari yon. Nararamdaman ba namin? Hindi po namin siya nararamdaman. So there are issues na mga ina-advocate itong ating mga active na women's groups. Okay? So businesses in the Philippines are taking measures to improve and preserve the gender balance of leadership roles. So let me just read to you also, and this is very important. According to a recent report, okay, this is provided by Grant Thornton International, female executives in senior management position in the Philippines dropped to 37.5% noong 2019 and down from 47% again noong previous year niya noong 2018. However, Filipino women remain the highest among women holding senior management positions in Southeast Asia, followed by Vietnam and Singapore with 36.9% and 33% respective. Okay? So, anong ibig sabihin? Baka po nagiging gender bias din yung mga reports ng ating mga mga ating authoritative international groups wherein they always insist that the Philippines is the most gender balanced or gender diverse country in Asia. Pero, hindi lahat na-mainstream sa lahat ng aspect ng employment. So, kagaya nito sa mga senior or key positions, okay, so hindi tayo ang nangunguna doon. Ano ang ibig sabihin nun? What's the message? So companies, corporates, or industries are more inclined to give senior positions sa mga lalaki kumpara sa mga babae. So whatever will be the reason, I hope, ano man yun, well, let's just hope that it has got nothing to do with oppressing the women workforce in the workplaces. There are many reasons probably. So po pwede na doon sa industry na yon or company na yon, because the orientation of the work is really for men, walang masyadong aplikante na babae. So there are issues of passiveness also on the side of the female gender. Siguro, this is still part of our mentality na hindi niya pwedeng pasukin yung mga trabaho na dominated talaga ng mga kalalakihan. So ano ang bottom line? Ang bottom line, although the stats, the metrics, or the figures would show that we are really gender diverse here in our country, hindi pa rin nape-penetrate, okay? Hindi pa rin nako-collapse. Itong colonial mindset na talagang ang mga lalaki ang mas tinitignan natin na dependable pagdating sa trabaho compared sa mga babae. Okay? So, we have here the gender gaps in the Philippines, and this is also included in the discussion of gender and development. Okay, so sinasabi dito, meron daw gender inequality in the labor market, and this is ascertained in reference to 7 gender gaps. And I think, more or less, sa mga ibang materials na makikita ninyo, naglalaro lang din dyan. Okay, so we have here the gender gaps in labor force participation. Alam niyo naman yan, nabanggit ko na kanina, there are works that are really being opened para lang doon sa mga male kumpara sa mga babae. Okay? How companies and industries view human capital o kung paano rin nag-i-age yung workforce natin. May effect din yon sa pagkakaroon ng isang gender diverse na workplace. Okay? The unpaid domestic and care work burden. So sa side ng mga kababaihan yan, who also play the role of being a mother to their children. Vulnerable employment, wage employment, ito yung mga trabaho na mapapasukan lang ng mga babae dahil ito lang yung kaya or pwedeng ibigay sa level nila. Kaya sumusweldo lang din sila ng ganon. Okay? Decent work and of course, social protection. So marami yan. Marami yung mga gaps na yan na mababasa natin. And it all boils down to one conclusion. Okay? Nasa margin pa rin ang mga kababaihan while the majority part of the workforce is being dominated by men. Okay? So next. Go. You have heard what do you mean by God mainstreaming. You have heard what are these gender gaps. So I guess you have a clear understanding now kung ano yung mga pinagdadaanan, kung ano yung issue ng mga kababaihan sa workplace natin. And let me just summarize it to you by this slide which shows the constraints of gender inequality. So pinag-uusapan natin tong gender diversity na to or equality of gender kasi nga maraming pinagdadaanan, maraming talikala, maraming pumipigil, maraming bonds, maraming harang or constraints ang mga kababaihan. Women are subject to the deficits of less available work. Kasi sinabi ko na nga sa inyo kanina dun sa gender gap natin, limitado lang din yung mga available jobs na pwede nilang applyan. Okay? And there are more vulnerable work. So ibig sabihin, ito talaga yung mga gender sensitive na mga trabaho at saka unpaid work burden, and in many occupations and industries are paid at a lower rate than men even when they do find work. So nagkakaroon na tayo ng gender inequality pagdating sa workplace because nawawalan tayo ng gender diversity at o kaya hindi ini-implement ito sa workplace or the company simply do not care or do not have a definite policy or framework how to mainstream gender in their workplace. Okay? So in addition, women in labor market are faced with the following concerns. So maliban pa doon sa challenge ng pagtatrabaho sa isang workplace wherein nagkakaroon ng inequality, ito pa yung mga ibang concerns na intertwined doon sa issue natin about God. So domestic work and care burden, sinabi ko na kanina yon, women's limited access to resources, okay? So including education, training, government services, credit, and financial services. Kaya pag nagpunta po kayo sa local government units, women are really identified as among the vulnerable sectors. Karaniwan, sila yung ginagawang recipients ng mga iba't ibang social amelioration programs ng mga LGU. For example, yung mga programa para sa mga solo parents, o kaya yung mga nagbabalik sa trabaho na mga kababaihan. So, ito yung role naman ng ating government. Kasi nga, alam natin and it's institutionalized and we all know that women have limited access to resources including education, training, and government services. Okay? So women also face pervasive discrimination including lack of social protection in most aspects of their employment and work. Ito ang malaking issue ng GAD sa isang workplace na kinakaharap ng mga kababaihan at kalalakihan pag napunta sila doon sa lugar na hindi mini-mainstream ang GAD. Okay? It has got to do with human right. Kaya binention ko na kanina pa during my earlier slides that the right to a balanced gender workplace is a human right. Okay? Kasi nga, it is part of a social protection. Okay? Nandyan ang employment, nandyan ang trabaho, pero it does not end with receiving the salary or going to office every day. Okay? It is closely intertwined on how our society works. Kaya, because of this gender inequality, ito yung pumipigil sa mga ating workforce, especially on the side of the women, to achieve growth and development. Kaya nabanggit din natin kanina, sinabi ko kanina sa inyo na bakit tayo nagdi-demand ng gender equality? Because may positive contribution siya sa side ng business and in the long run, okay, economic growth. Although, walang definite metrics or statistics na nagbibigay ng correlation na talagang ito ay papunta sa economic development or pag-flourish ng isang business, but there are statements, there are incidences, and there are experiences that will prove na having a gender diverse workplace will improve not only the employment but also will provide improvement on the business condition ng mga companies natin. Okay? So I'm about to approach the last portions of my talk. So, okay, there are always two roads to take. Kasi ang tanong, attorney, so naintindihan na po namin kung ano po yung tinatawag yung gender inequality. So, ano po ang solusyon? So, malamang baka yan din yung mga nasa isip at tinatanong naman ng ating mga viewers at saka mga job seekers. Okay? So, I don't really want to paint a very bleak picture of employment. We are just discussing kung ano itong GAD na ito pag nilagay mo sa context ng workplace. So, there are always two roads to take. Ito naman ang sagot ko tungkol dyan sa kung ano ba magiging solusyon sa gender inequality. Okay? So, I have two roads. The first road, eliminating gender bias. Napakahirap pong i-achieve nito because this must emanate from our government and it has got to do with policy frameworks kung paano natin mini-mainstream ang GAD sa ating institution or sa ating workplace. Okay? And masakit sa ulong basahin kung ano yung mga naging ongoing debates kung papaano at nasaan na ang Pilipinas on gender equality. But let me just summarize or highlight a few kung ano or papaano natin ma-eliminate yung pagkakaroon ng gender bias. Okay? So, primarily or firstly, companies should be transparent. Okay? Kasi doon nagsisimula yung inequality. So, ipopost mo sa job posting mo na ito yung hinahanap mo and ito yung salary na inaalok mo sa job seeker. So, si job seeker meeting the minimum requirements, okay, ng job vacancy na to, syempre mag-a-apply siya. Pero hidden in those job requirement pala, isa yung mga qualifications na nilalagay, they are really, that kind of thing na parang pinifit na natin, tinitailor fit na natin sa isang employee na lalaki. Although it is stated in generic or general terms, tapos pag kahit ma-meet nung applicant na babae yung minimum requirements, nire-reject natin yung employment. Kasi we already have a bias, bias thought or bias idea na kung sino yung gusto nating ma-hire sa position na yon. So a lot of companies are like that. So kinakailangan or we are demanding or a lot of the women groups are demanding for transparency. Kung iyan yung trabaho na gusto mong hanapin, ilagay mo na. Kaya talaga sa mga job vacancies, makikita mo, preferably women, preferably men. May nakalagay na siyang ganon. Okay? Support women into more senior roles. So nakita nyo naman kanina yung figure at saka binasa ko sa inyong report. Here in Philippines, may decline tayo doon sa metrics na naa-appoint sa senior position or senior roles yung mga kababaihan. The tendency, the trend is always mga lalaki. So implement gender-neutral recruitment process, yun yung sinabi ko kanina. Review salaries and standardized pay. So this is very basic. Hindi po pwedeng mas malaki yung nasusweldo ng lalaki kaysa sa babae while they are performing the same kind of work. Okay? Provide training on unconscious bias. Have a clear policy on discrimination. Provide flexible working and destigmatize shared parental leave. So that's why may tinatawag na rin tayong parental leave where it can be availed by mga tatay na nanganganak yung kanilang mga asawa. Okay? Diversify the board. This is very applicable sa corporate world natin. Hindi puro lalaki lang yun nandoon. And I'm sure it's very, really hectic seeing this mga lalaki na nakaupo sa mesa at talagang nagtatalo, nagka-clash yung mga egos. So baka maganda na balansihin natin, lagyan natin ng konting softer side. So sa part naman ng mga babae. Okay? Ensure you're actively encouraging women to progress. Meron po kasi mga companies that because they have gender bias, nare-retard yung growth ng mga kababaihan dun sa workforce kasi talagang sila naman yung nagdi-discourage for these women to excel. Okay? And promote a culture of meritocracy. So what do you mean by meritocracy? Ina-appreciate mo or kinikredit mo yung nagiging accomplishment ng mga kababaihan. Hindi yung puro kapag ka ang nakagawa ng maganda para sa company ay mga lalaki, i-laud mo or i-applause mo, pero pag babae yung nakagawa, parang i-disregard mo lang. So, these are just examples, illustrative examples of eliminating gender bias. Okay? So, ano naman yung isang road na sinasabi ko? Actually, active role kasi yun eh. Without the company, mainstreaming God in the workplace, wala tayong ma-achieve para dito sa gender equality na to. So ito namang side na to, nasa passive side ito. Ito yung para sa mga babae or mga lalaki kung paano nila ma-appreciate or paano nila, hindi ko naman sasabihin iiwasan because gender inequality should not be a hindrance to their work and career achievements and development. So kung paano natin ma-avoid okay, yung gender bias sa pamamagitan ng ating mga sarili natin. So, what are the examples? Okay? Learn to appreciate your capacities and capitalize on it. Hindi tayo laging Gabriela silang pag nag-a-apply ng trabaho. Alam naman natin na hindi natin kaya mag-perform ng construction or hard labor, pero pinipilit natin, tapos pinagkakatigasan natin na equal footing dapat. Ang mga lalaki, kaya niyan, may muscle. So, kami rin mga babae. Okay? So, it's just an example. Appreciate your capacities and capitalize on it. Kung alam mo na mas mapagtatagumpayanan mo itong trabaho na to without competing or without touching the issue on gender, humanap ka ng sarili mong niche. Okay? Explore TVET programs that will enhance your technical skills. Talagang siningit ko po ito kasi sa amin dito sa province of Bulacan, we are really advocating TVET programs. Okay? Ito yung skills enhancement. Hi po sa Bulacan TESDA, PD Joven Ferrer at sa kanyang mga sisipag na staff, si Ate Weng at saka si Rose. So, konting hi-hi lang po dyan. Okay? So, i-enhance mo. Gumawa ka, take a step forward to enhance your skills or technical skills on that note. These are more dominated by men itong mga technical skills na to. So, minsan may mga napapagraduate tayo sa mga skills training, from TESDA or our TVI partners na nagwe-welding, nagme-mekaniko, or doing hard labor, pero mga babae sila. So, mag-train ka, i-enhance mo yung skills mo if you want to capitalize on that technical skill. Okay? So, yung pangatlo, explore favorable work opportunities, intertwined yan doon sa una. Okay? And this is also very timely. Entrepreneurship. Okay? This is a foolproof safety net. Lalo na doon sa mga kababaihan natin na nasa bahay lang, na hindi makalabas, maka-apply ng trabaho kasi kapapanganak lang nila. So baka pag nalaman ng company na ang anak nila bata pa, baka maging bias sa hiring kasi iisipin, nako, new mother ka pala. So baka mamaya madalas kang tardy, madalas kang absent. So issues like that. So entrepreneurship. That's why also sa Provincial Government of Bulacan, we also promote entrepreneurship. Right now that I am talking, we have an ongoing online skills demonstration. The goal of this program is to equip or to educate our homemakers na nasa bahay, syempre, on the safety of their houses during this pandemic para maka-acquire ng skills either on basic bread and pastry or food processing na magiging tulay o magiging magbubukas ng opportunity sa kanila o magbubukas ng kaisipan na mag-business or mag-entrepreneurship. Okay? Know also that speaking out is your most powerful defense. This is a very important way of avoiding gender bias. And also, kung nakakapagsalita ka at hindi ka takot na sabihin yan, also, dapat malakas din ang loob mo to seek redress for discrimination and sexual harassment in work environments. Okay? So, to sum it up, yung sinabi ko, yung mga kinuwento ko tungkol dyan sa dalawang road na yan, okay? So, communication is the key. Napakahalaga po niyan. Understanding the traditional roles and behavior of a colleague from the opposite gender may help you to understand their feelings and values. So mag-iingat ka, you will be treading on eggshell. Be careful ka na makatapak ng, o kaya magkaroon ng gender bias kasi naiintindihan mo yung sentiments, feelings, or emotions ng mga kasamahan mo na opposite gender. Therefore, creating respect inside the workplace. So to achieve effective communication between the genders in the workplace, we need to find a way to build the communication gap that exists. Okay? Kaya po talagang totoo. Communication is the key. It is the key of forging relationships. Ito po yung magiging simula. Para po kahit papano, hindi man natin totally ma-mainstream ang GAD sa ating workplace, ay maibsan or ma-avoid natin yung gender disparity na tinatawag. So let me end my talk for today on a sweet note. So these are the quotable quotes na alam ko naman magiging inspiration nyo at baka naman matandaan ninyo para dito sa lecture na to about God or gender equality. So you can state difference and also state equality. We have to state sameness to understand equality. Okay? So gender equality is a human fight or human right and not a female fight. Ini-emphasize po natin yan kasi kailangan po natin i-correct yung notion na pag sinabi nyo pong gender equality, ito ay laban or boses ng mga kababaihan. Okay? This is in fact a human right. That's why it is a human fight. At hindi lang po sa mga babae. Na-expose din po sa gender issues or gender inequalities ang mga kalalakihan on some aspects. Okay? So, this is just a gentle reminder. Men of quality respect women's equality. So, alam niyo naman po yan. So, ang bottom line yan, yung mga pinag-usapan po natin kanina. Okay? So, lastly, I love to be individual to step beyond gender. Okay? So, on that note, I'd like to end my talk for today. Thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you, Attorney Kenneth. Actually, magandang introduction nyo sa topic na nabanggit nyo, na nagsimula pa lang sa name nyo. Kasi nakaka-relate dyan ang aking boss, Sir Kim Chua. Isa pa yan. Sir Kim, if you are there, isa ka dyan sa... I'm sure na nabanggit mo na before na yung iba na akala iba na female kayo sa name nyo pa lang. So, nakaka-relate kayo dyan. Attorney Kenneth, merong you mentioned earlier about yung sa voicing out communication pagdating sa discrimination kapag nade-discriminate sila. Anong pwede niyong advice doon sa gusto mag-voice out pero nahihirapan? Whether na-discriminate sila workplace or outside?
Alam mo, Robert, pagdating kasi sa redress, pagdating dyan sa discrimination na yan sa workplace, iba-iba kasi yan eh. Very subjective yung approach kasi depende sa mga exposure. So there is really no there is no really what you call this prescription for that. Kaya nga ini-emphasize ko kanina sa talk ko, you need to speak out. A lot of women or men who are experiencing discrimination based on gender sa workplaces nila, kaya nila na-aggravate or tumatagal because they do not speak out. They automatically accept that this is the trend, this is the culture. So, kailangan ko tong tiisin, kailangan ko tong tiyagain, and I need to embrace this, otherwise I will be jobless. Lalo na kung ang nagdi-discriminate yung kanyang key official o yung mas mataas sa kanya. So, there are ways really how to cope with it, but iba-iba yan ng exposure. Pero ang key component niyan is know how to speak on the right time and know how to seek grievance. Marami tayong mechanisms tungkol sa discrimination. Actually, there are laws na naka-implement na pwede nating ma-avail or pwede tayong magpunta sa courts para dyan. Pero syempre, kung hindi naman court matter, yung issue ng discrimination na masosolve lang naman within the grievance committee of your office or company, so pwede na din doon para hindi na din ma-disrupt yung relationship ng opisina.
Okay. So to our viewers, important nga is speaking up, although walang one way na good for everyone na ito lang ang susundan nyo for speaking up. Well, whether or not is one way nga marami, that's still the most important part dun sa ating avoiding discrimination sa ating sarili. Anong masasabi niyo naman, Attorney Kenneth, dun sa mga gustong magbago? Nag-mention kayo yung two roads. Paano kung napansin niya na pa-reflect siya, ako pala ay isa sa mga nag-discriminate ng iba, gusto ko magbago. Ano naman ang masasabi niyo sa pwede nilang gawing first step dun sa tamang road?
Nako, masaya yan. Sana ang mindset ng mga ganyan, kaparis ng pagkakasabi mo, Robert. Because with that, utopia yan. That would be the time that we'll be achieving diversity, gender diversity in our workplace. So, kagaya din, doon sa sinabi ko kanina, doon sa aggrieved person, yung sa side naman, ng mga nagdi-discriminate, it would really help to look within yourself. You know, it's like putting yourself in the shoe of that person. Kasi maliit ang mundo, Robert. So, dito, halimbawa, senior ka dito or key official ka sa company na to, and who knows, the next day, biglang bababa ka na lang din sa rank and file situation because of the COVID pandemic, and you will be experiencing this kind of hardship and discrimination also. So, it is really a reflection kasi it all started with culture eh. So, along the process, kinakailangan din natin ng wake-up call or parang paggising dito sa kulturang ito because you cannot really force someone not to discriminate or to follow a certain character path. It all boils down to that person. So, halimbawa, ikaw, Robert, talagang pagdating sa workplace, talagang you are really inclined and you really find that men are really more strong than women. So, isipin mo ang iyong girlfriend, ang iyong asawa, ang iyong kapatid, ang iyong magulang, kung nandun sila sa workplace na yon. So, how are you going to accommodate them and how are you going to make their environment conducive for work kung magiging discriminatory ka against or towards them? So, yon, Robert.
Thank you, Attorney Kenneth. So, to our viewers, important nga ang reflection. Baka minsan hindi kasi natin naiisip na nagagawa natin. Baka ako rin, kailangan ko mag-reflect mamaya. Reflection, yun, minsan hindi na natin alam, hindi natin papansin, nagugulat na lang tayo na once we reflect, ay may mali akong ginawa. So, well, wala namang pwedeng gawin other than try to change this. If na-realize nyo nga na ay may mali akong ginawa, so maybe apologize and then shift na ang inyong way of thinking. So, start
Nag-reflect
with...
na mamaya, Robert,
Yes, Attorney Kenneth, wag po kayo mag-alala. So, Attorney Kenneth, we will be moving on na po to our next topic. So, thank you very much po for joining us and giving this talk about gender equality in the workplace. Thank you. Okay, so now, papunta na tayo sa ating last na topic. And nandito to talk about motivation and productivity, we have here someone invited by PESO. To introduce him, he's a registered guidance counselor of San Miguel National High School. He was a delegate for the Capacity Building of Career Guidance Advocacy Program of the Human Development and Poverty Reduction Cabinet Cluster Technical Working Group on job skill matching in South Korea last 2017. He's a leader in various professional organizations. He's also a division cyber safety trainer and a writer of Homeroom Guidance Program Teaching Guide and reader of DepEd Bureau of Curriculum Development. He has received recognition for his outstanding and dedicated service from the Public Employment Service Office Managers Federation of Central Luzon. He was honored by the DSWD as Program Implementer of Pantawid Pamilyang Filipino Program, and he was an awardee of Natatanging Guro ng Taong 2003 given by the Bocaue Teachers Club at Pamilya Santiago G. Rojas Foundation. I would like to introduce to everyone Mr. Jason Hernandez, RGC. Sir Jason, are you here?
Hello.
Hello,
Hello,
Sir
sir.
Jason. Nice to see you po. So your talk will be about motivation and productivity. And I think it's very relevant as well dahil ang ating viewers, whether or not it's related to work, looking for a job, or sa bahay, motivation and productivity can be used anywhere, anytime. So,
Yes po.
Sir Jason, test na po natin ang ating screen.
Okay.
Sige. While Sir Jason is testing his screen, I'd like to thank everyone na nag-comment ng kanilang name and their place of origin, kung nasan sila ngayon. So, I see here someone watching here from Kawayan, Bulacan, so iba't ibang places. So, thank you very much for joining us from different places in Bulacan. So, sa mga comments nyo, don't worry, nakikita namin kayo. So, ito ulit, San Miguel, Bulacan, just a while ago. Yes. So, Sir Jason, okay na po ang screen share natin?
Yes.
Sige po.
Uh,
Try nyo na
hello,
po
sir.
i-share.
Naka-share na po, sir?
Hindi pa po siya lumalabas sa screen namin, sir. Sige po.
So, habang hinihintay po natin, pagbati po muna sa ating head ng PYS PESO, Attorney Kenneth Pampulantin. Hello po, ma'am. Magandang hapon. Sa ating po mga kasama sa Provincial PESO, magandang hapon po. Sa ating mga career advocates, and then sa ating mga job seekers, sa mga parents na nanonood ngayon, sa mga students na dito ngayon, mga kasama nating guro, good afternoon. Have a wonderful Thursday afternoon to all of you. Okay na po, Sir Kenneth? Ay, Sir Robert?
Hindi pa po naglo-load. Hindi pa po. Sa inyo po ba nakalabas na yung screen?
Yes po.
Bale, try ko po kayo tulungan. Napindot yung share screen, tapos share screen, tapos may lalabas na screen sharing tips, and then share screen ulit.
Ito na po
Sige po, testing natin. So, good afternoon po uli sa lahat, sa mga binati kanina ni Sir Jason. Thank you for joining us, for staying with us. Alam ko yung iba, nandyan na simula pa lang nung program natin nung 2 p.m. and nandyan pa rin kayo ngayong 4:08. So, thank you. And Sir Jason, nag-upload na po ang inyong screen share pero hindi pa po naka full screen. Pa-full screen na lang po natin. And then, once na full screen na siya, you can begin. Ayan na po, naka full screen na. So, I will be heading backstage and be back here at the end of your talk for the Q&A. So, you can start the moment na wala na po ako sa screen. Thank you.
Yun. Delayed na siya. Thank you, Sir Bert. So my topic is all about motivation and productivity. Uh, Nasa ano na po tayo ngayon eh, nasa fourth industrial revolution at dahil sa pagbabago ng teknolohiya, may lumalabas po tayo mga work issues. At isa na po dyan ay yung tinatawag nating cyberloafing. Ang other term po dito ay tinatawag na cyberslacking. Kailan po ba nagkaroon ng cyberloafing o cyberslacking at bakit naman ito naging issue sa mga industry ngayon? Ito po yung labis na paggamit o pag-search sa internet ng mga employees during work days, work hours, pero hindi related dun sa trabaho. So, ang tanong is bakit kaya nagkakaroon ng cyberloafing? So, ayon po sa pag-aaral ay may mga iba't ibang mga factors tulad ng lack of organizational justice, lack of job involvement, attitude towards the job monotony, and of course, meron ding mga personal factors tulad ng stress, ng boredom, and procrastination. So, ano ba yung mga nagiging consequence ng cyberloafing na tinatawag natin? So, kapag po nagkakaroon ng cyberloafing, parehas yan na nagkakaroon ng positive and negative effect o implications sa both the employer and the employee. Nagkakaroon po ng tinatawag na better creativity, better job satisfaction, and better learning environment. Yung nagkakaroon din naman siya at the same time ng decline in the productivity, loss of intellectual property, data theft, and loss in time. So, may mga recommendation po to set measures para naman maiwasan yung tinatawag o mabawasan yung tinatawag nating cyberloafing. At sabi ay magkaroon ng internet monitoring system at policies that restrict the access of certain sites, and of course the use of firewalls doon sa mga sa workplace, ano. Ngayon, mapapansin natin bakit kaya nagkakaroon ng mga ganito, ganitong at isa sa sinasabi natin na yung boredom ay isa sa dahilan kung bakit nagkakaroon ng cyberloafing. Alam niyo ba na nagkaroon ng pag-aaral sa Singapore na boredom can boost employee creativity, motivation, and productivity. So, ayon sa pag-aaral, napapataas dito yung creativity ng employee, pero meron lang siya sa mga specific personality traits, tulad ng mga employee na mayroong intellectual curiosity, mayroong high cognitive drive, openness to new experiences, and inclination towards learning. So, yun po yung mga specific lang naman ng mga personality traits nagkakaroon doon sa bumabagay yung tinatawag natin kapag ang isang tao ay nakakaranas ng boredom. Ayon po sa pag-aaral, why boredom can boost creativity, motivation, and productivity ay kung nagkakaroon ng tinatawag na boredom periods para sa mga employee during work day. Kung ini-encourage yung employee na bidip muna saglit, i-sleep mode muna yung PC, and then mag-recharge muna sa trabaho. So, lumalabas po sa batay sa study na boredom could potentially be an unconventional source of human motivation in the workplace. Pero sa atin sa Pilipinas po, lalo na sa government offices, sabi ng Civil Service Commission, bayad muna bago mamaya na. Kaya no-noon break po tayo sa mga government offices. Ang challenge lang ay kung walang kapalitan o karelyebo yung empleyado, so ini-entertain niya yung mga clients kahit kumakain, ano? Nawawalan ng time itong empleyado. At of course, kasi ang mga clients ay dumarating doon sa free time nila at ang free time nila yung during lunch break. Kaya sa atin po sa Pilipinas, lalo sa mga government offices, ay no noon break. Ngayon, may pag-aaral po ayon kay Abraham Maslow, siya po isang American psychologist. Sabi niya, people are motivated by basic needs which have to be met in a certain order before they are motivated to achieve higher goals. So siya po ang proponent ng tinatawag nating hierarchy of needs. At meron po tayong apat actually na needs. Una yung tinatawag nating basic needs, yung psychological needs, yung fulfillment needs, at yung panghuli po ay in later life ni Abraham Maslow is dinagdag niya yung tinatawag na self-transcendence needs. So, yung pong physiological needs and safety needs are basic needs. So, ito ay kailangan muna na ma-meet ng isang tao bago siya umakyat doon sa other needs, tulad ng belonging and love needs, yung ating self-esteem needs and self-actualization. So, hindi magiging self-actualize ang isang tao kung hindi muna fulfill yung kanyang mga basic needs, which is the physiological needs and safety needs. Now, alamin natin, kailan ba nagkakaroon ng pagtaas o pagbaba yung motivation ng isang tao and then yung productivity ng isang tao. Kailan ba siya tumataas o kailan ba siya bumababa? Kaya meron po tayong tiningnan sa ating research na apat na factor po actually yung nakita natin. So, una ay yung silipin natin, tingnan natin yung health and wellness muna ng isang individual o ng tao, ng employee sa isang industry. Sa health and wellness, lumalabas po sa pag-aaral na yung daw mga employer na binibigay yung pinaprioritize nila yung health and wellness and safety ng kanilang mga employee ay bumabalik yung investment nila, yung return of investment ay mas mataas. Opo, yung production ay mas mataas. Kasi tingnan po natin yung physiological needs ng isang tao. Kung ang isang industry o ang isang employer ay sakitin yung kanyang mga employee, so siyempre maapektuhan yung production, maapektuhan yung services ng isang industry. So kaya po yung mga industry na inuuna muna yung mga physiological needs o yung health and wellness muna ng kanyang mga empleyado ay mas tumataas po yung productivity level at tumataas yung motivation level ng empleyado. At the same time, yung safety needs ng kanyang mga empleyado. Kung binibigyan ng isang employer na unahin muna yung safety needs, sino ba naman ang empleyado na gugustuhin na magtrabaho sa hindi safe na yung kanyang pinagtatrabahuhan, di ba? That yung industry na ito is safe from physical abuse, safe from verbal abuse, safe from harassment, di ba? So, importante na palagay ang loob ng isang empleyado sa kanyang kumpanya. At the same time, tingnan natin yung love and belonging. Employees who feel genuinely cared for all at work are more likely to stay and flourish. Ibig sabihin, yung empleyado na feel mo na mahalaga ka doon sa company, mag-i-stay ka doon, di ba? Masayang magtrabaho doon. So, sinong empleyado ang ayaw na masaya doon sa environment, doon sa workplace niya? Hindi ba? So, at the same time, doon din yung same needs. Yung employers na nag-create na mga successful wellness culture, yung mga empleyado niya, mas more likely to reach like this level. So, gugustuhin ng isang empleyado na mayroong wellness culture doon sa company. Kumbaga, mahalaga ako, kaya ibibigay ko yung the best ko kasi pinapahalagahan ako ng kumpanya ko. Di ba? So, ganun din at the same time, kapag yung empleyado ay tinutulungan ng kanyang employer na maging self-actualize, so lumalabas na nagiging yung employees are creative problem solvers. Hindi na lalawak pa yung problema at na-anticipate na ng employee yung magiging problema at yung stress level niya is often reported to be very low and productivity and growth are high. So tumataas po yung level ng productivity at the same time mas umuunlad yung kumpanya kasi self-actualize na yung mga employee niya. Now, tingnan naman natin yung job satisfaction ng mga employee o ng mga empleyado. Sabi, job satisfaction and motivations are very essential for the continuing growth. So para tumaas o lumaki ang profit ng isang company o ng isang industry, ay kailangan satisfied siyempre yung both parties, hindi lang si employer na kikita siya, at the same time yung kanyang mga empleyado dapat ay satisfied din doon sa kanyang trabaho, doon sa nature ng trabaho. At of course, kailangan makita na mayroong opportunity for professional development, mayroong mga in-service training, may mga attractive salaries, of course, may welfare support services, and so on. So, siyempre, yung mga salary, akma, di ba, hindi yung mababa na yung sapat lang, yung saktong-sakto sa kanyang position. At siyempre, yung mga benefits, nakukuha niya. So, meaning, kung parehas na win-win, itong si employee ay satisfied sa kanyang sweldo at sa kanyang mga posisyon, sa kanyang trabaho, ibinibalik niya yung kanyang mga services at yung excellence ay ibinibigay niya 100% doon sa kanyang performance. At of course, ang magbe-benefit nito, hindi lang yung employee, at the same time, magbe-benefit din sa employer. Now, silipin naman natin, tingnan naman natin yung equality, yung factor ng equality. So, pag sinabi natin equality, opportunity gaps can trigger psychological dynamics that hurt productivity and well-being. Kung mayroong gap sa equality sa isang industry, sa pagitan ng employee and employer, so yung productivity and well-being, of course, ay apektado. Malaki po ang apektuhan yan. Yung motivation to work would be influential by the violation of the fairness principle and relative violation of rewards. For example, kung mas mataas yung position, meaning mas malaki ang expectation sa kanya kasi mas mataas ang position niya, mas mataas yung inaasahan sa kanya. So, mas mataas din siyempre ang sweldo niya. So, yung medyo lower ang position, hindi ganoon masyadong inaasahan yung siyempre medyo mas mababa yung kanyang position, yung salary siguro ay mas mababa. Pero pagdating sa mga benefits and rewards, ay dapat na parehas. Kung hindi pantay ang pagbibigay ng mga benefits sa position na ito, ay parehas po 'yon, na yung mga disadvantaged individuals at saka yung mga advantage na medyo mas nakatataas sa posisyon ay parehas na nagkakaroon ng negative influence on the motivation to work. Parehas po na nagkakaroon ng naapektuhan yung kanilang motivation. So silipin naman natin tingnan natin yung ethical climate sa isang industry. Pag sinabi nating ethical climate, employees' public service motivation is influenced by their sense of appropriateness. Kung nasa public service tayo, ibig sabihin, naniniwala tayo doon sa tagline ng Civil Service Commission na bayan muna bago suddenly, bayan muna bago mamaya na. So, laging ang unahin ay yung clients natin at dahil tayo ay nasa public service, yung anong principle ang akma na lapat para sa atin sa public service. Of course, kung ikaw ay isang leader, servant leadership ang pipromote natin dito. So yung mga leaders natin sa public sector organizations ay dapat na effective na pinatutupad yung mga konteksto ng public sa service, at yung leadership, yung servant leadership ay ang pinaniniwalaan ng ating mga nasa government sector. Dahil po siyempre, dahil nasa public sector tayo, yung prinsipyo natin sinusunod ay it's about service. Service nila. Now, kung tingnan natin, sino-sino ba yung mga tao na mayroong super productive? Yung mga tao na to, sino ba yung mga hahangaan natin na gagayahin natin, magiging modelo natin? Kung papasok tayo sa mga industry, lalong-lalo na yung mga job seekers, meron pong tinatawag na paritiro attitude. Meaning, ito po yung pag daw kasi yung mga empleyado, malapit na mag-retire, naglalaylo na siya sa mga task niya. Medyo hindi na siya ganun ka-active, naghihintay na lang siya ng sweldo. Ganon, po. So, may mga individuals daw na pagpupunta sa mga industry, 2 years, 3 years pa lang sa company, paritiro attitude na. So, hindi po ito ang kailangan. Sabi ng People's Management Association of the Philippines, dalawa lang naman ang hinahanap sa mga applicants. Yung tinatawag natin na meron siyang tinatawag na hard skills and soft skills o mga essential skills. So, yung importante po, batay dito na sa sinasabi ni Jack Zenger and ni Joseph Pokman, merong 7 traits of super productive people. At sino-sino po itong mga tao na ito. Una ay tingnan po natin na unang-unang dapat na traits na makita sa isang taong may super productive. Isang super productive ay meron siyang tinatawag na set stretch goals. Yan. So, bawat individual ay meron tayong kailangan meron tayong dapat na goal. So, sinasabi natin, dapat merong SMART goal tayo. Ibig sabihin, meron tayong specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely goals. Pero hindi lang naman ito may kinalaman doon sa ating SMART goal. Dapat ay meron tinatawag na stretch goal. Paano yan? Paano natin malalaman kung isang tao ay mayroong stretch goal? Anong tool o anong indication na makikita natin sa kanya na meron siya noon, kung ang isang tao o isang individual ay meron siyang makikita mo kung meron siyang planner. May bibigay ko sa inyo example, kung may planner. So, for example, ito po yung planner natin, Ako meron akong planner. So, sa planner, merong plano na for the whole month. Ayan. Makikita ko sa inyo. Kaya ko lang kung nakikita nyo sa camera. Ayan. So, dito may monthly, mayroong weekly. So, isusulat kung ano yung mga plano for the month, for the whole month, for the week, and then sa buong maghapon, mayroong plano. So, importante daw po, sabi yung sa 7, para maging highly productive ang isang tao, kailangan makita sa kanya. Meron siyang strengths go. Number 2, ay kailangan makita sa kanya na meron siyang consistency. So sabi nga po, consistency is the key. The most productive people did not see their productivity ebb and flow over time. So lahat naman po ng tao na mayroong consistency, hindi naman nagising ka lang may consistency ka na ano. Ito po ay ginagawa week after week, months after months, daily, yan. So, diyan po natin makikita ang isang taong may consistency, yung ginagawa, hindi ningas kugon. Kung hindi, talagang makikita sa kanya, ginagawa niya talaga ito. May nakakakita man, o wala. May nagbibigay man ng incentive, o wala. Nabibigyan man siya ng recognition, o hindi. Consistent pa rin siya sa ginagawa niya sa kanyang trabaho. So, importante po ito. Consistency is the key. Number 3, sabi natin, have knowledge and technical expertise. Importante po, sabi nga ng People's Management Association of the Philippines, mayroong technical know-how. So, may technical expertise. At importante din yung tinatawag nating soft skills o yung mga essential skills. Pero, sabi nga natin, the most productive professionals did not hesitate to ask for help when they needed it. Marunong ding magtanong. Ang isang talagang professional, nagtatanong, hindi basta gawa lang ng gawa at know-it-all attitude. But, they did not need it that often. So, kung talagang gusto mong matuto, edi siyempre, aaralin mo yung nature ng trabaho mo, yung skills na kailangan, i-upgrade mo yung sarili mo, magbabasa ka ng mga books, sa halip na magbabad sa Facebook, mga self-help books, mga knowledgeable books, ayan. Yung mga libro na magpapahusay sa iyong mga kaalaman kaysa sa gugugulin ang mga oras sa pag-scroll sa mga social media account ninyo, ay basahin ang mga libro. Hindi po ba? So, kailangan palakasin natin yung ating, enhance natin yung ating mga skills for retooling, ganyan, retraining. So, importante po yan. So, hanggat i-master natin yung ating craft, yan. So, have knowledge and technical expertise. Isa po yan. Next po is drive for results. So, importante, there are a few people who have great desire to accomplish results sooner and quicker. Yung bang gusto agad-agad ay may makitang resulta. Diba? So, kuminsan may mga empleyado na kailangan utusan. Utusan man na hindi alam kung ano gagawin. So dito po is paano ba natin makikita sa isang tao na siya ay mayroong drive for results. Yung resulta ang kailangan makita. So meron siyang to-do the list. Meron siyang planner. Merong checklist na gagawin mo sa buong maghapon. So hindi ka lang maghihintay ng utos from your manager. Kung hindi, alam mo na yung task na gagawin mo batay sa yung job description at sa ibinigay sa yung scheduled activity task for the day. Okay. So, kailangan ay matagpos yung kung ano yung mga nasa to-do the list sa buong maghapon. So, yun po yung kailangan natin makita sa isang taong mayroong highly productive traits. Another, anticipate and solve problems. So, ang tanong dyan is, are you one of the problem or are you one of the solution? So, ano ba gusto mo? Maging parte ng problema o maging parte ng solution? So, sabi nga natin, isang taong mayroong highly productive, ay na-anticipate na niya kung ano yung magiging problema. Hindi pa man naiisip na magiging problema, ay iniisip na niya. Hindi pa man nagiging problema, iniisip na niya. Ibig sabihin, para ma-anticipate ano man yung lalabas na problema, pinag-iisipan na kung ano yung mga magbasa, para po nakikita natin kung ano-ano ba yung mga posible maging problema. So, tanungin, mag-interview sa mga kasama. Yan. So, importante yan. So, sabi nga natin, uh, uh, to avoid some of the problems that other people run into, social psychologists call this mental contrasting. So, ang tawag po ng mga social psychologists dito, mental contrasting. Ibig sabihin, hindi pa man nangyayari, iniisip mo na para ma-anticipate na kung ano man yung lalabas sa problema ay mabigyan na agad ng solusyon. Para kung sakali na dumating yung problema, meron ka nang nakahain ng mga estratehiya para solusyonan yung mga darating na problema. Di po ba? So, win-win po ito sa parte ng employer at ng employee. So, at ang huli, tinatawag natin na take initiative. Yan. Sabi natin, the most productive people start quickly. Yan. Kadalasan humihingi sila ng sorry kasi nga kumbaga parang napangunahan nila yung kanilang mga bosses, mga boss. Kaya ang nangyayari, gawin na nila kahit hindi pa inuutusan, yung tiyatawag natin may kusang palo. Kaya lang, kung minsan nagkakaroon ng problema sa mga bosses. Hindi pa man inuutosan, ginagawa na, kaya lang, ito, nakikita sa kanila yung initiative, nakakatulong. Okay. Hindi para pangunahan, alam niyo naman ng mga boss, ayaw nilang pinangungunahan. But kung ang isang tao, isang employee, ay inaral niya, sabi nga natin, meron siyang technical knowledge, may technical know-how, kung ano yung magiging trabaho niya. So, kung meron mang lalabas na problema na hindi pa man sinasabi ng mga boss na gawin mo yan, meron ka nakahain agad na estratehiya at gagawin mo na agad. So, the result would be positive. At sa ganung paraan, matutuwa yung employer, diba? O yung mga boss natin. Kasi nagawa mo na agad, hindi pa man, kumbaga ma-anticipate na agad yung problema, di ba? So, hindi naman ito tinitingnan bilang pinangungunahan natin yung mga boss, kung hindi in-anticipate lang natin yung mga posibleng maging problema. So, mayroon na tayong initiative agad. May kusang palo na tayo. Yung tinatawag natin. So, kapag nagawa na at ma-positive yung resulta, so, hingi na lang tayo ng sorry doon sa ating boss. Ay, sorry po at ginawa ko na po ito. So, sa halip na magalit itong boss, matutuwa siya kasi yung problema ay ma-anticipate na. Nabigyan na agad ng solusyon. Okay? So, at yung panghuli pala ay ang tinatawag nating be collaborative. May sekreto po may 4 na C sa isang organization para maging successful ang isang organization. Ito po yung tinatawag nating coordination, collaboration, corroboration, and commitment. So pag nakuha natin yung para magkaroon ng commitment, kailangan yung 3 sama-sama yan Kailangan na may coordination bago magkaroon ng collaboration. At siyempre, hindi lang naman collaboration ang susi dyan. Kailangan din naman may corroboration. Hindi pares naman yan. Siyempre, coordinate mo, tatanong muna, tanong-tanong. Then, collaborate, ibig sabihin, co-equal lang naman yung pinagtatanungan mo at ikaw. Minsan kasi, ang isang employee, pinapalagay niya na mas magaling siya kaysa doon sa kasama niya. Kaya nagkakaroon ng problema sa iyong relationship. Kasi kung minsan, may mga know-it-all attitude, mas magaling ako kaysa sa iyo. So, ayaw niyang tatanggap ng mga suggestion o ayaw niyang tatanggap ng mga criticism. Kaya nagkakaroon ng problema. So, meaning, kapag sabi natin, be collaborative, ibig sabihin, you see the other person as co-equal. Hindi mas mataas ka sa kanya o mas mataas ka sa iyo. So, kailangan ay work hand in hand, pantay lang kayo, at hindi tinitingnan ng isa bilang kakumpetensya kung hindi kasama. Katuwang. Katuwang sa para masolusyonan yung mga task ninyo, ano man yun, magawa ng maayos. And then, corroborate. Ibig sabihin, you agree both parties. Okay? Yung ikaw at saka yung kasama mo ay nagko-corroborate kayo. Ibig sabihin, hindi ka lang nag-go-work sa kanya ng hand in hand eh. Kailangan nag-agree kayo parehas, nag-convene kayo sa anumang task, sa anumang solution na gagawin niyo sa isang project. So, importante po 'yan. And then, siyempre, yung commitment ay panghuli. So, be collaborative, sabi nga natin. Ito ay makikita natin sa mga taong mayroong highly productive attitude. So, yan po yung aking topic for today. And I think I have no time. So, ito po yung aking mga references. Nakikita ko sa inyo. And then, yan, i-scan ko lang po yung aking mga references. Yan. And then, thank you and have a wonderful day to all of you. And I'm open for questions.
Yes, thank you, Sir Jason. Sir, we have time for one question.
Yes,
And
po.
it's related dun sa last slide mo, yung be collaborative.
Yes po.
Sometimes kasi meron teammate na nakaka-affect sa team, yung productivity dahil, I don't know, medyo siguro yung teammate na to medyo hostile or basta may pinagdadaanan, I don't know, for whatever reason, sometimes we have a teammate bringing the rest of the team down and it affects the productivity of the team. So, dun pumapasok yung be collaborative. Ano po ang best way for us to handle this?
Siguro, I think kailangan natin makita, meron bang mga mental health concern yung tao na ito? Baka naman may pinagdadaanan siya. Let's say, for example, nasa isa siyang existential crisis. Kasi ang isang taong nasa existential crisis, katulad ngayon, ang dinadanas natin, sabi nga natin, it's okay to be not to be okay. Kung ang isang tao ay may pinagdadaanan sa kanya, nandun yung takot niya, nandun yung because of uncertainties. Kasi nandito tayo ngayon sa tinatawag natin buwan, di ba? Volatility, uncertainty, nandito tayo sa ambiguity and complexity. So, tingnan muna natin, baka itong taong to ay meron siyang may mental health concern. At baka ito ay nakakaranas siya ng tinatawag natin existential vacuum. Yung existential vacuum ay isang sitwasyon na kung saan walang masulingan yung tao. Ibig sabihin, yung ano man yung choice na gawin niya ay parehas na mag-negative ang magiging epekto sa kanya. So, importante na malaman natin sa isang tao kung may mga indicator ba siya ng stress. Yan. Or kilalanin muna natin yung itong tao na ito bago tayo mahusga. Kasi kung minsan, yung pinakikita ng isang tao, let's say, yung isang tao ay may know-it-all attitude, kontra na kontra. Kung minsan, yun ay mga simptomas lang na tinatawag natin tao na mayroong low self-esteem. Yung gusto niya, yung siya yung the best palagi. Oo, kontra siya ng kontra, tapos gusto niya yung lagi siya nire-recognize. Ito ay maaaring may low self-esteem siya at defense mechanism lang niya yung ganitong attitude. So, importante na kilalanin muna natin itong tao na to bago tayo maghusga. Sabi nga natin no to tinatawag natin no to JBL. No to judgmental. Tayo dapat maging judgmental. JBS, no to bias, at hindi tayo subjective. So, hindi kailangan tayo maging JBS. So, no to JBS tayo lahat. No judgmental, no bias, and no subjective.
Mental, bias, subjective. So, thank you, Sir Jason. Actually, good point yung sa ating pag-understand ng mga kasama, especially ngayon, may extra na pinagdadaanan, may circumstances. So, I guess kailangan din dagdagan natin ang understanding, yung knowing the background of this person, yung nabanggit nyo, ang know-it-all attitude. minsan we don't know ano ba to, pabida-bida, yung sinasabi natin ngayon. But yun pala, may pabibo, yung pala meron, kung makita natin na halimbawa ma-discover natin about self-esteem, well, I guess mas magiging understanding tayo. So it's important to be aware that there are possibilities na ganito. Sige po, Sir Jason, I'm afraid yan lang po ang time that we have for our Q&A. And thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for your informative talk. And I think you were able to cover a lot naman dun sa talk niya. So I think yung usual na tinatanong with this topic, you were able to answer. So thank you. So hope to see you again.
Yes, most welcome, and have a great day to all of you.
Okay, so that's it for our session for topics ang pinagdaanan natin. So thank you for everyone for joining us today, for staying with us since 2 p.m. I know na nandito pa rin kayo. I see your comments. So thank you. I see yung viewers natin, number of viewers, nandyan pa rin kayo. Thank you very much. Thank you doon sa aming partners na nag-invite sa ating audience for them to be here. Quick announcement for our viewers, kapag meron kayong gusto balikan, meron kayong na-miss na parts, ipopost naman namin ang live recording version, ang recorded version nitong live streaming sa aming Facebook group. So pwede nyo pa rin sila makita. And also we will have succeeding webinars. Meron kaming webinars after this. Okay lang naman na sumali kayo. It doesn't have to be exclusive sa Bulacan areas. Meron kaming other webinars. Baka pwede nyo check yung topic. It would still apply to you. Okay? So with that said, I would like to thank also our speakers from South Bend, EEI Corporation, the Attorney Kenneth, PYSPESO, and Provincial PESO, and Sir Jason, we just saw him a while ago. Again, this webinar is part of the Virtual Career Expo, Trabaho, Negosyo, Kabuhayan, Trabaho para sa Bulakenyo, hatid ng Provincial PESO. And you could also go to schools.jobs180.com/PYSPESO. Makikita nyo ang job openings ng inyong industry partners doon, aside from other companies then. So we all hope that you are able to learn something. If you need to ask us questions, just send us a message sa aming Facebook group. So this closes our program today. Once again, this is Robert from Jobs 180. Stay safe, everyone. See you soon, and goodbye.
The One DTI Services Trabaho, Negosyo at Consumer is an outreach service of the Department of Trade and Industry to you. We promote employment by bringing to you our services and informing you of the many business opportunities that you can avail of. Our Board of Investments present the many areas of growth where businesses can locate and avail of the various incentives that it offers. To our exporters, we will present the Ripples Plus in the Philippine Halal Export Program so you can venture to new markets. Our digitization initiatives enable businesses for faster transaction with the government featuring online registration of business names and streamlined construction permits. We present the Inclusive Innovation Industrial Strategy that aims at growing innovative and globally competitive manufacturing and services industries. This promotes stronger linkages with the domestic and global value chains, focusing on innovation at the core of the country's strategic policies and programs. We promote income opportunities through a comprehensive development and promotion program for micro, small, and medium enterprises, or the 7 M's of MSME development: mindset, mastery, mentoring, machine, money, market, and models of negosyo. Our more than 1,000 negosyo centers nationwide offers business assistance, consultation, and seminars. At the same time, our The Negosyo sa Barangay program reaches out to our stakeholders at the grassroots level. Our mentoring program discusses the basic skills needed for successful entrepreneurship. Specific trainings are also conducted on topics such as Philippine Quality Awards criteria for SMEs, halal fundamentals, market opportunities, and certification procedures. Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, East ASEAN Growth Area Halal Info Session, standardization of environmental management system orientation, among others. We provide a basic orientation seminar on the country's intellectual property system, which explains the role of copyright and trademarks in technological and economic development. The Small Business Corporation also provides microfinancing through its Pondo sa Pagbabago at Pag-Asenso to eliminate proliferation of loan sharks. Assistance for product packaging, branding, marketing, and promotion is also being offered to entrepreneurs. We ensure a safe consumer environment with quality and safe products and reasonable prices. We also undertake programs that support informed and vigilant consumers and cooperative and self-policing business. Understand the Philippine national standards to stay on the side of safety and quality and know how to spot unsafe products through Standards Blitz. Through the DTI website, the general public may now access consumer-related information. Consumer complaints may also be filed online or through our various communication channels. The Consumer Forum also focuses on consumer protection by discussing policies and complaints handling, Consumer Act of the Philippines, and other relevant fair trade laws. Through the collaborative efforts of government agencies, local and international institutions, and private companies, DTI intensifies its efforts for economic growth and continuous improvement of Filipino lives. For more information on DTI programs and services, please visit our website at www.dti.gov.ph or visit the DTI office or Negosyo Center nearest you.